Welcome back to Bill Brown Stadium. Marty Gordon with Kelly Underwood. A beautiful night for football, and it's starting to finally feel like football. The opening of the River Ridge District play for all the teams really in the River Ridge. Tonight, just down the road, Salem is at Christiansburg. Of course, Hidden Valley and Pulaski squaring off. And here at Bill Brown Stadium, it's the Blacksburg Bruins hosting the Cave Spring Knights. Of course, Cave Spring comes in 5-0, and Blacksburg comes in at 1-4. So it should be an interesting game tonight. We'll see if Cave Spring, honestly, if their defense can handle the spread offense of Blacksburg.
Absolutely, and it's a big game, Marty. It's really big. We can't emphasize this enough. It's an important game for Blacksburg to win, and it would be a really bad game for Cave Spring to lose. And the reason why is because, like we talked about at the outset of this broadcast, Cave Spring comes in 5-0. They haven't played a lot of strong opponents. Only 4 wins amongst their opponents that they've beaten thus far. Not a very good sign. So it's really a perfect position for the Bruins to come in here and steal a game, Marty, on homecoming night and bring their fans something really to cheer about. Take it on into the sock hop and the dance and the king and queen.
And, of course, we hope to have that announcement of the King and Queen at halftime with us. But, last year, Cave Spring defeated Blacksburg 35-6. Both teams came in a similar situation as they did last year. Now, Blacksburg coming off a heartbreaker last year as they got ready to play Cave Spring, and then Cave Spring picked up that win. But we can honestly think back as Cave Spring has taken a few years to build up to where they are now.
Cave Spring was not, 15, 20 years ago, was not the program that they are today. And I don't know whether it was changing the emblem, changing the uniform, changing the colors, or putting Hidden Valley right at their back door where they had to be competitive. But this team that's out here tonight is athletic. That's the first thing you see when you walk out on the field with them. Is they're a tall, athletic team. It's almost like we've got guys that about 15 or 20 basketball players peppered throughout the
Well, I
mix.
think we do for Cave Spring.
And I think that you're right, Marty. But when you're walking out there, you get a sense of the athleticism. But are they football savvy? Are they football smart? That's what's going to make the difference between the winners and the losers in this district, because this is a very competitive district.
And can you imagine Cave Spring and Hidden Valley would have still been one school the way they both are playing right now, both 5-0. Now, we've seen the captains go out to the field. We're getting ready to have the coin toss. We can't help but mention the defensive play of your favorite player. I mean, he continues to impress us. Tyler Holmes has 45 solo tackles, 29 assists, 74 total, and the big factor, 3 interceptions.
He's been a very competitive player all season. I think that's the best way to put it. When he straps it on out there, it's 110% on every down. He's out to get the turnovers. He's in on every key play, it seems like. And he's averaging, over 10 to 15 tackles a game. The kid is all over the field. I'm just amazed at his age, just a sophomore, that he is this competitive right now.
And, of course, you mentioned the sophomores on that defense. Still, we're looking at like 6 sophomores starting for Blacksburg. And, we didn't get a chance to mention him much this season, but he did get in against Lord Botetourt. That's the backup quarterback. And Coach Christ, every time I've talked to him, he keeps talking about him over and over and again. And, it's very important to have a good backup quarterback. Of course, he's only a junior. We're talking about John Cook, but the key thing is that Chris says he's his eyes and ears, that he's always watching, and he's been seeing things that's helped the coaching staff really to help Gresh out.
Well, when you look at Cook, when you first meet him, he's a gangly kid. And then he throws on the number 7, and you think, yeah, he's not playing quarterback. Give me a break. This kid is tough. He can run. He showed it when he got into a couple of games this season. He's a competitor. He's almost got a Joe Montana-esque spirit when he gets on the field. He doesn't have to throw the ball 80 yards to beat you. He's a kid that's a great backup because he's going to come in the game and potentially win it for you. Gresh is a great athlete, a great asset to this team, and it's really good and positive to have a backup quarterback that's willing to jump in there as necessary, play wide receiver, watch the film, do whatever it takes to help his team win.
And Cave Spring is one that's also elected to receive. Blacksburg will kick off, so the defense will get on the field a lot early on. And that has been one thing that we've seen this season, is the offense has sputtered at times, and that defense has had to be on the field a lot.
Absolutely.
So they've grown up, especially with Tyler Holmes leading them. You've got Sean Surface and a few of the other players out there.
And the defense tonight, starting for the defense for the Bruins, are going to be Sean Bennett, Ray Williams, DeRyan Jones back in the lineup, Jonathan Howard, Tyler Holmes, my man number 6, Joey Phillips, Charles Sullivan, Jake Belote, Stuart Worley, Sean Surface, and Eric Howard. It's a formidable team tonight.
Wow, deep kick deep in the end zone. It ain't coming out.
Great
what a
kick
way
by
to start the game.
Great kick by Violet there. Woo! Great kick, Caleb.
And, I think he had the leg to make that field goal, even in the sloppy conditions last week, but we will never know.
Well, I think that he had the leg. I think he proved it all night. And the kid's he's got a booming leg. It shows in warm-ups, but it looks like he may have tweaked something this week, because as I watched him in warm-ups, he was lighting that ball up, splitting the uprights every time.
Must got an energy drink in him or something.
You never know. Never know.
Danny Aiken, 6'4", 205-pound senior, starts the quarterback, brains him out, and they're going to stack it in, and it looks like the rushing attack that Cave Spring's known for is going to start out here again. Man in motion comes to the right side. Oh, he's going to go back to pass. They haven't done this. He's got a man wide open down at the 40-yard line, and he overthrows him. That attempted pass was to Will Osborne, the speedster that's been the big ball carrier. He was open behind the defense, caught Blacksburg's defense a little by surprise.
Marty, I'm sitting here in disbelief because they packed it in like Northside did all last week. Aiken can throw the football. Wow. He just threw the ball 40 yards with the flick of a wrist. He is
Two steps
a
and
specimen
boom.
back there. He's a big fella.
We'll see if they stay in the running attack here. Osborne, the man who's been carrying most of the load this year, was in motion in that first down. Here comes up 2nd and 10. This time the pitchback's going to come to the up back, and that's Haran. He's going to go to the left side, maybe picks up 3. He's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 now.
Haran, the backup quarterback, going to be playing that wing back all night long. You're going to see him in motion a lot. He's a good asset for Cave Spring right now. He takes a lot of pressure off of Osborne in the backfield. But the best thing possibly that Blacksburg could have had happen to him this season is that they played Northside last week, who has a similar offensive strategy to what Cave Spring is bringing to the table.
And we'll see if they come back here with they're staying it all packed in. So Cave Spring not changing anything. Osborne the deep back. Aiken now under center. Long snap that time. Goes back to pass under some pressure, but he's got a man down the middle. And I don't know how he got it. Nice defense there. That time on the play.
Stuart Worley, number 5, slipped right in front of Reddick. But again, it's the benefit of having a big target, Marty. When you got a guy that's coming out of the tight end spot that's 6'5", it's an impressive target for Aiken to drop back and throw to.
17 yards to Reddick.
Makes it difficult for the defense to pick up that catch.
Now that was the player you said that you hoped didn't have a breakout game against the Bruins tonight. He's already picked up 17 yards on that pass. So Cave Spring packing it in. This time I got one receiver on the right. Aiken this time pitches back to Osborne. He might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to mark it just at the 41. He picked up 1. He's going to bring up 2nd and 9.
Spun down under a mountain of blue jerseys. Blacksburg on the blue on blue tonight. Blue on blue with the blue helmets. Aiken, just to give the folks at home he towers over his offensive lineman. I mean, this is a kid that is 4 or 5 inches taller than all of his linemen. He towers over the team out there.
Cave Spring moving left to right across your radio dial. Brings up 2nd and 9 now for the Knights. In motion's one receiver. He's going to get it this time. And that is Haran again. He goes to the left side. Ball is on the ground. We'll wait and see if they call it a fumble. He might have got back to the original line of scrimmage, but it looked like the ground caused that fumble, and the Knights have recovered. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 9 now.
Haran taking that ball on a quick motion from that slot spot on the right side. He turned, and by the time he got to the tackle, Aiken was taking the snap to hand the ball off on a quick motion. Nifty play from Cave Spring. Not much on the gain, though.
2 yards, they check it on that. They'll bring up 3rd and 7 now for the Knights. Of course, Tim Fulton in his first full year of coaching after the head coach quit back in early in the summer. This time,
double handoff.
Oh, it fooled us there. Aiken had it, and then he ended up handing it off to Osborne. who might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to have 4th down and 7 with 9 minutes now to go in the first quarter.
First contact and coming out of the bottom of the pile for Blacksburg. Number 6, Tyler Holmes, read it all the way. The double handoff on the man in motion moving to the left, coming back to the right side. Great play on his part for just a 1-yard gain.
Lining up for the punt now. Cave Spring, the ball's marked about the 43-yard line. Long count. Oh, Blacksburg had some people in there, had a chance to block it. It's going to take a Cave Spring roll at the 20 to the 15. Going to be marked at the 14-yard, or checked at the 16-yard line. 41 yards on the punt. And it's going to be 1st down and 10 now. Blacksburg with their first time with the ball.
Cave Spring out of that punt formation is not a team that's going to fake it a lot. They spread their players out. It makes it very difficult to run any sort of deception play that you can trap the ball on the inside and try to take advantage of an over-rushing defense.
That formation, though, it's almost like a single wing in there, Kelly. It's hard to see who's going to have the ball because of the way they're playing.
Absolutely.
Here comes the spread offense, 1 receiver each side. This time a power I behind Gresh. He's under center. It's a little bit different. Oh, we've got movement on Cave Spring. We'll see if they were pulled off. It'll be our first penalty of the evening. Down to 8:32 in the first quarter. And the official says it's offsides on Cave Spring, so it'll bring up 1st down and 5 now. Makes it a little easier.
Interesting penalty there, Marty. Blacksburg didn't even look set, and the Cave Spring player jumped offside. Looked like the left end for Cave Spring that hopped off. Interesting play. Don't see that a lot.
Latrell Keys, the deep back. Robert Jennings, the up back. Keys gets the handoff. He's going to go right side. Got some running room. Might have picked up a blocker there and gets back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 5. No gain for Keys.
Cave Spring runs a shifting defense. They're going to shift their interior alignment and their ends likely throughout the game to try to trick and deceive the offensive blocking scheme of Blacksburg tonight.
Play coming in from the sideline, taking its time to come in. Looks like Blacksburg going to still go with the power I. This time 2 receivers on the far right side, on the far side of the field, 1 on the left here. Gresh on the keeper. And Cave Spring all over it very quickly. He might have picked up a yard. He's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 4.
Difficult to tell from our angle, but it looked like Gresh may have fumbled that snap, bobbled it a little bit on the way on transition. Starting for Blacksburg tonight, DeSalvo, names that we all know, Jordan Wade, John Howard, Chris Weaver, Cameron Sellers, Talmadge Flincham, Ray Williams, Harrison LaPuasa, Greg Keys, the young quarterback Gresh, and Latrell Keys in the backfield.
A little confusion out there for Blacksburg. Gresh trying to get the play from the sideline. It finally comes in. Power I formation, 2 receivers on the far side of the field now for Gresh under center. 3rd down and 5. He goes back to pass. Got a receiver open there. He comes back to it at the 1st down marker. And in on that catch is Alex Noble.
They're calling that a no catch on the far side, Marty, saying DeSalvo didn't get his leg down on that
out of bounds,
catch.
like.
Tough to see from this angle, but looks like he didn't get it down. They're calling it 4th down. LaPuasa is in the punt.
4th and 4. The ball marked at about the 21-yard line now. So Cave Spring has shut down the first drive for the Bruins. Low snap, and it looks like it was partially blocked there by Cave Spring, and it's going to be down about the 26-yard line, so it's a 5-yard punt on that block.
Jeremy Spradlin, number 58, came right up the middle for Cave Spring, got a piece of that ball, did a great job of jumping straight up in the air, not laying out after it when you can get those really cheap kicking penalties that normally kill a team. So
special teams a factor already in this game. 1st and 10 now for Cave Spring deep in the Bruin territory. It'll be marked at the 26-yard line. We're going to stay with it here, but Blacksburg took a quick timeout to try to get their defense on the field and the right personnel back on the field. Now, 7:07 to go in the first quarter. Both teams stopped each other on their opening drive, but a partial block there on the punt by Cave Spring now will give them possession deep in Blacksburg territory. The question coming out there one of the assistant coaches from Blacksburg talking to the officials about something.
Well, it looks like Coach Phipps is out there talking to the official, the defensive coordinator for the Blacksburg team. And that's the type of play that Blacksburg defense is really going to have to stand up and show themselves here, because this is the type of play that can turn a game. A block of a special teams, a block of a field goal or a punt, whatever have you. Special teams are normally the X factor that can turn a game for you.
And Cave Spring, of course, last week had a fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, and a blocked punt to win that game against William Byrd, and at least 14 points came from turnovers. So we'll see if they can capitalize it here on this blocked punt.
And you're not going to have a 100-yard rusher when you're only having to go 20 yards still on a scoring drive. Typically the way that it works.
And I tell you what, Kelly, you look at that offensive line, there's some big boys. They're small. Aiken can see over them, but they're packing it in again. First down and 10 now at the 26 for Cave Spring. Pitch back this time, it goes to Osborne. Osborne's got some running room, picks up 2 blockers, and he's going to go in for a touchdown. It's going to be a 26-yard scamper. And I tell you what, he had a load of blockers out there.
Had a ton of blockers and really crammed himself up in the wedge of the blocking backs. And then you lose that white jersey, that 24 streaking through there. The next thing you know, he breaks 2 tackles and he's broken a big play. But number 58 there, the guy that blocked the field or the punt, Jeremy Spradlin, deep downfield, picking up one of the defensive backs for a big block, helping that score happen.
And Cave Spring doesn't have the right personnel on the field for the extra point, and they're going to have to waste a timeout.
That's going to get a coach's hat on the grass every time. Every time when a coach sees that his team has put a score on the board and his kids don't have the right personnel out there, he understands it's his fault, but it's still frustrating as all get out.
Andy Bibbins, the kicker for Cave Spring, finally called a timeout when he realized the clock was working its way down. It's now we're under 7 minutes, and we're moving very quickly. Seems like last week when we flew by, but it's 6-0 right now in this opening first quarter. Cave Spring has scored on a 26-yard touchdown run by Will Osborne after the blocked punt. Let's see if they're going to go for an extra point here. We're now setting up the kick. Check that is
Kenny Horan, the backup quarterback.
That's what the confusion was. Kick is up. It's going to be low, but it is good. So with 6:59 to go in the first quarter, Cave Spring gets on the board first. They're up 7-0. We're going to take a break. You are listening to Blacksburg Bruin Football on Super Talk 101.7.
Your neighbors helped save a life last night. Be a volunteer. You can help save a life. You provide the time, we'll provide the training. To learn more, call the Blacksburg Rescue Squad at 961-1189.
And the kick from Cave Spring is taken back deep from Blacksburg at about the 5-yard line. Bringing it out now was Charles Sullivan for the Bruins. He brings it back to almost the original line of scrimmage where they started earlier. It's marked at the 30-yard line, and that's where they're going to take over. Now trailing 7-0.
Sullivan, the 5'9", 175-pound speedster, picked that ball up. Kenny Horan, doesn't look like they have their full-time kicker in there. Horan with a short kick, ball bouncing at the 30 and then sliding a few yards. Going to be a big opportunity for Blacksburg throughout the night as they can get these kickoffs and get big returns.
Gresh now comes out. He's in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers far side, 2 on our side. And the formation we're used to. This time a handoff goes to Keys. He's got some running room out of that formation. Picks up maybe 5 yards, and a big 5 yards there to start this second drive.
The scrum or the pile that's out there, Marty, really moving around. I don't know if there was a change of possession or exactly what was going on, but a lot of pushing going on out there, the pile moving around. And that's the type of offense, I think, much like last week, Coach Chris wants to build some confidence in his team, get some 5-yard pickups, and go from there.
And it gives Gresh a little confidence here, especially now he's got 2 receivers on this side, still in the shotgun formation, spread offense, 2 on the far side. Keys is a lone setback. Here comes the snap. Again, the handoff is the Keys. He's got running room. He picks up the first down and maybe 4 more. So So he picks up 9 yards. So the first down for the Bruins here as the clock gets down to 6:10.
Quick draw there to Keys. Great pickup on his part of 6 to 7. Tackle by Cave Spring, number 11. Fralin coming up and making the tackle there, albeit downfield.
Ball's at the 44-yard line on the Blacksburg side of the field. No huddle this time for the Bruins. 2 receivers on the far side and 2 this side again. And Gresh in shotgun formation. And I think Gresh might have pulled them off.
Second flag of the night. We'll see who it's against. Looks like it is going to be Cave Spring, but we'll wait and see what we got here.
Offsides again for Cave Spring. The second penalty of the night is going to Knights. 2 for 10 now, so it's going to be up 1st and 5 now for the youngster Gresh.
If Blacksburg can keep it to 1st and 5 all night, this is a good situation for those who don't know football that well.
And
5
Keys.
is a whole lot better than 10.
Keys coming into this game averaging about 6 yards a carry. That time they hit him right at the line. He's going to get no gain, just as I say that.
Slow
We're in 2nd and
transition.
5.
Slow transition in the backfield. From snap to handoff to Keys actually going to go hit a hole. 3 white jerseys had already penetrated. Difficult to work in those circumstances.
One thing that Coach Chris is doing is the backup quarterback is signaling in the plays, and both set of receivers and Keys and Gresh wait for the play to come in, and then they go up to the line. 2 receivers again split both sides of the field. Gresh back to pass in shotgun formation. Got a receiver this time wide open in between the linebackers. Nice pass that time. That was DeSalvo. He's going to pick up another first down and about 9 yards on that pass to DeSalvo.
No doubt on that play that DeSalvo got his foot down. Made sure reeling that one in, was in the middle of the field. Quick hit. Keys was in the flat. Gresh had a couple of options there, but went with DeSalvo. Smart move.
Nice short pass, and Gresh has shown that he can get those off very quickly. This time Gresh going to keep it. He's got some running room, got a hole up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 8 yards, Kelly. Nice job by Trey Gresh. I think he read that and saw the hole there and just took it on his own.
The second draw for Gresh of the night. Blacksburg must have seen something in reviewing the film of Cave Spring that led them to believe that they were going to have opportunities up the gut for Gresh to have that option.
And Keys has also found a couple of holes in that defensive line. They're running a 4-man front. Linebackers really playing deep. Oh, the high snap, and this time the ball comes loose. Aiken's going to pick it up for Cave Spring. Miscue there by the Bruins, and Cave Spring's going to take it back into Bruin territory. 9 yards on the pickup, and takes it all the way to the 46-yard line of Blacksburg, just when they had things going.
Blacksburg completely taken off guard on that. Might have been just me, but it looked like they thought the play was blown dead by a referee. No one was moving to the ball. Number 12 picks it up. Danny Aiken, the quarterback, picks that ball up going both ways tonight, runs downfield. Don't know exactly what was going on for the offense there.
Ball's going to be marked at Blacksburg's 47-yard line when they step it off. Clock ticks down to 4:26. We'll see if Cave Spring going to try to take advantage of another miscue here. So they picked up their opening score of the game. Aiken under center, packed in offense again. This time is to the up back, and the ball's on the ground, and Blacksburg picks it up. So a big turnover that time.
Big turnover.
Fralin on the carry, he picks up 2 yards, but then coughs up the ball, and Blacksburg gets it right back. Oh my goodness, what a big recovery for the Bruins.
Big turnover, a very fortuitous turnover for Blacksburg there. You got Cave Spring, who marched down the field. 1 play, 1 touchdown last series. They really needed a big play there, and they got it from their defense. Kudos to the Blacksburg team there.
Now the Bruins going to have to try to recover from that last one, but they showing on defense. They get the ball back at 4:22, still only trailing 7-0. Spread offense again. 2 receivers split both sides. Well, we've seen most of the season from the Bruins. Gresham shotgun formation. Claps his hand, gets the ball back. He's got a receiver down the left side, and he's going to go down this far left side, but it's going to be out of bounds again. It was completed, but he is out of bounds that time. It was to DeSalvo, and it was just too far to the left.
That was a flying duck that Gresh threw up there. A great effort by Peter DeSalvo. I thought that he had a foot down, but apparently he was right on the sideline. It's tough to see from up here. A great effort on his part to even reel that ball in.
2nd and 10. Blacksburg quickly up to the line, catching Cave Spring off guard, a four-man front. Linebackers trying to adjust. A high snap. This time looked like it was supposed to go to Keys. Gresh had to keep it. He picks up maybe 4 or 5 yards. Going to bring up 3rd and 5. It looked like the handoff was supposed to went to Keys, but the high snap made Gresh a little off balance there, and he had to keep it himself.
Smart play by Gresh there, and for everyone that's at home, the spread offense, what it does is it creates giant holes in the center of the field because the Blacksburg or the linebackers are forced to guard the Blacksburg wide receivers and spread themselves out, opening up opportunities in the center of the field.
And really, you're looking at a 4-1 defense for Cave Spring now. Gresh going to keep it again. He had some running room there. They're going to be close to the first down marker. And we've got a flag on the play. It's from this far side of the lineman. We're going to have to see what that call is. Typically, that's play interference or holding called on the receiver or the defender. But Gresh is close to the first down marker. We'll wait and see if it's nullified, though. Face mask, no. So Gresh is going to pick up 5 yards, the first down, and then you throw in a penalty there against Cave Spring. And let's see. I think this is the biggie.
It looks like they're going to mark off just the 5 yards this time. The referee, the head ref, very adamant about that face mask. But they're just marking off the 5 yards. Very athletic move by Gresh, taking that ball, leading his team to the first down.
Dangerous there for Gresh, especially when the face mask, his head does jerk a little bit. Now 1st and 10, the ball's marked at the 37-yard line. Handoff is the Keys. He breaks one tackle, goes right side. He gets around the corner, and is going to be knocked out near the first down marker. It's going to bring up 2nd and about 1 on a 9-yard pickup. But tell you what, he had no blockers on that side, and he did it all on his own. Broke 2 tackles and then sprinted past another Cave Spring defender.
Keys absolutely running through the first would-be tackler that was out there. Taking a big hit on the sideline, just coming up barely short. We'll see what the spot is here. They might want to measure this.
I think they will. I'd like to remind you as we wait for the measurement that you can watch the replay of this game and all Blacksburg High School home football games Monday at 7 p.m. and Wednesday at 3 p.m. on WTOB Channel 2, Blacksburg's Community Access Television. And we're glad to be a partner with them again this year. Here comes the measurement. It's going to be awful close. It looks like they didn't get it. It's going to be very, very short, though. Bring up 2nd down and a short 1 with 3:26 to go. Blacksburg driving now at about the 37-yard line, or check at 27-yard line of Cave Spring. It is going to be short. By the chains, it looked like Kelly, it's about 2nd and 2 inches.
Absolutely. And it looks like the referees were using the chains more as an effort of spotting the ball appropriately than getting the measurement. Because we didn't get the typical 6-inch measurement hand signal from the referee. So it's going to be 2nd and very short for the Bruins. Look for them to put it back on the ground here. They're going with the I backfield. Atypical of the Bruins spread offense.
Gresh going to keep it. He's got the first down and picks up maybe 3 yards on the carry as his offensive line just pushed that defensive line straight up the field.
Again, when you spread the defense out with 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right, you end up with a thin middle. You end up with 4 down linemen and 1 linebacker. If you have a successful, aggressive offensive line, you can push the 2 to 3 yards every time and be successful at it.
6 plays now, and so far we got down to 3:19, and Blacksburg now marked just inside the 25-yard line. Handoff is the Keys in the power I formation. He's got running room, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards, bring up 2nd and 4 now.
The Bruins really finding a soft spot in the center of this defensive line of the Cave Spring Knights. Probably going to go ahead and try to take advantage of that in the next few plays, because until they stop them, you can see Coach Chris is going to go back to the same play over and over and over and over again.
And we're now starting to see Blacksburg go into a power I formation with Gresh under center, and that has seemed to work really well. 2 receivers now split to our side of the field. Hand off again to Keys. This time Cave Spring all over him. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 now for the Bruins.
Tommy Burgess, the big 6'2", 290 D lineman in on the tackle there. One of the big guys that Cave Spring does have, one of the 3 guys that they had that's over 275 pounds on this team, was able to punch it through and get the tackle.
3rd down and 4. Gresh talking to his running backs back under center in the power I formation. 2 receivers again split left. Handoff is the Keys. No, Gresh going to pass the ball. If they can fake this out. The pass is incomplete, but there's a flag in the play, and looks like it could be a pass interference on the Knights.
Fantastic call and fantastic position by the referee there. Right on top of the play, caught the defensive back getting in too early on Greg Keys, the wide receiver. That's what it's going to be, pass interference on the defense. Very lucky there that they picked that up, that penalty, giving them the automatic first and moving the chains.
3 penalties now on the Knights on the evening. That was the biggest one. And it's going to give the Bruins a first down after that third down incomplete pass. We'll wait and see where they're going to end up marking the ball. It should put it down to about the 10-yard line. Here comes the mark.
Big-time spirit of homecoming tonight, Marty. I saw the first guy with blue hair in the crowd. Big-time fan. The team trying to get the crowd energized here as they're pressing on the 10. First and goal from the 10, doing it the hard way.
Just inside the 10, so it's going to be first down and goal now for the Bruins. 2 receivers split both sides of the field. Gresham shotgun formation with Keys, the lone setback. Movement this time on Blacksburg before the snap of the ball. And that'll move the Bruins back 5 yards. First penalty called against the Bruins.
And Coach Chris is happy to see his team more disciplined in this game. First penalty coming 10 minutes into the football game. But how inopportune to have a penalty right down here on the goal line, making the hard first and goal from the 10 even harder, pushing them back 5 yards.
And we're approaching the 2-minute marker in the first quarter. Still the Bruins trailing 7-0 to Cave Spring, but they are knocking on the door. The first down and goal now with the penalty. It pushes it back to the 14-yard line. Play taking a little time coming in, and Blacksburg's going to have to take a timeout to talk about things. We'll take a quick timeout here at Bill Brown Stadium. Your score is Cave Springs 7 and the Blacksburg Bruins nothing. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruin football on Super Talk 101.7.
Yo, what's up, baby? Want to learn some history?
Check it out, check it out. Your GED right here, guaranteed, man. Come on, check it out.
Hey, how you doing? Educational videos, top quality, right here. I got live learning, beautiful books inside.
The National Center for Family Literacy.
Yo, I got your arithmetic right here.
Because you can't get your GED on the street. Call 1-877-FAMLIT1 for free learning programs like GED and family computer classes.
Who needs a high school diploma, huh?
The National Center for Family Literacy. The first step to a better life.
And welcome back to Bill Brown Stadium. A quick handoff that time to Keys from Gresh. Maybe picks up a yard. And it's going to bring up second down and goal from the 13-yard line.
Blacksburg on that play, and I have to throw this correction in there because it's so rare that they run to the fullback. Robert Jennings probably has 10 carries on the season. So rare that he even gets to touch the ball on that quick hit.
Keys this time is the lone setback. Gresham shotgun. 2 receivers split both right side. This time going to go to the corner of the goal. Oh, end zone. And he had a hand on it, but knocked away that time by the defender. The pass was attempted over there to Stuart Worley. And it's going to bring up second down, or mark it third down and goal from the 13.
Just the first quarter, Marty, but it feels like Blacksburg needs the field to be about 2 yards wider and about 3 yards longer. Every ball is right on the edge, and it seems like every time it's an unplayable ball for these wide receivers.
1:24 to go in the first quarter. Clock ticking down very quickly here. We've seen a fast first quarter. Gresh back to pass. Got a receiver this time on the other side of the end zone. The pass was attempted for surface, and in and out of his hands. Going to bring up fourth down in the big decision here. And looks like the field goal team might be coming on.
Going to bring on Violet. Got to go for the sure points here. John Cook coming on the field, the commander-in-chief of this special teams unit. Going to be holding for Violet. Right dead center. It's a little bit longer than an extra point here, about 10 yards longer than that. So Violet shouldn't have any trouble putting this one through.
28-yard field goal attempt. Violet to kick. Here comes the snap. The ball's down. The kick is up. It is good. So the Bruins are on the board with 1:18 to go. The score is the Cave Spring Knights 7 and the Bruins 3. We'll stay with it here on homecoming night. Again, we remind you, we'll try to get you the homecoming king and queen results at halftime. Maybe you can get the queen up here.
We smelt it, didn't we, Marty? Smelt it.
I
Smelt
know.
it.
They
Smelt
got
it.
food
Rick
up
Watson never had it so good. Special delivery from Five Guys Burgers and Fries for the staff tonight. Great people over there at Five Guys hooking us up with a burger. Rick Watson never, ever had a burger from Five Guys delivered here.
We'll have to rub that in later because he's over there on the other side where they can't deliver.
Depending on what type of halftime we get here, because, you know, the former voice of the Bruins, God bless him, good man, has gone to the maroon and gold, what do they call? There's a specific name for that Pulaski County team.
The Cougars, and they had a big game against Hidden Valley tonight. We'll try to get some scores for you here shortly. And also just down the road, a big game going on between Salem and Christiansburg in the district opener. Here comes the kick, and man, oh man, another nice kick about at the goal line. Cave Springs going to bring this one out. He's at the 25, and oh my goodness, somebody just took his head off. Oh, I think there was a face mask in on that call, but that was a clothesline, Kelly.
Oh my
goodness. It wasn't on purpose.
And Blacksburg's got a man down. It looks like number 15 for Blacksburg.
No flag. They picked it up.
Waving off the flag. Number 15 for Blacksburg down on the field. TJ Lockhart, it looks like, the junior.
Ball's going to be marked about the 20-yard line, so he could have let it stay. But Cave Springs going to take over 1st and 10 now as the clock's down to 1:13 here in the first quarter.
Lockhart came down, looked like a headhunter, which is what they call the speed men on these kickoff teams, was coming down looking to get a good tackle on. He just threw his arm out there and happened to catch the return man right in the upper shoulder pad neck area. And he's down.
Hate to see that.
Got the trainer out there. We hope that he's all right.
At this break, as we wait to get back in action, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Chase Home Finance at Blacksburg, Mad Dog at 109 North Main Street in Blacksburg, Carolina Valley Medical Center, Finding Better Ways to Care, and A1 Copies and Sign Center at the University Mall, and over Nissan. It's different and it's better.
Check that. Was not TJ Lockhart. It was number 5 Stuart Worley. He's up and off the field under his own power.
It's good to see him up. Now, I do remind you, as we get ready to start back in action here in the first quarter at Bill Brown Stadium, if you have a chance to go into any of our sponsors, thank them for supporting Bruin football this year, or we would not be on the air without them.
Good people too, Marty. Good people. I frequent those businesses that we've got tonight sponsoring, and they're really, really good, helpful folks at all those places. 1st
down and 10 for Cave Spring, still packing it in that typical Cave Spring offense. This time his handoff is to the deep back, the fullback in that formation. He picks up maybe 5 yards, check at 4 yards on the carry, going to bring up 2nd and 6.
This Cave Spring offensive formation a little bit different than what most people are used to because the fullback might only be 2 yards from Aiken's back foot. They really contract this formation into a small pocket and try to force the action from there.
Freeland on that carry picks up the 4 yards. Going to run again 2nd and 6. Ball marked just inside the 25-yard line of the Cave Spring side of the ball. This time a little razzle-dazzle, and the handoff goes to Osborne, and Aiken was leading the blocks out there for Cave Spring.
Absolutely a phenomenal athlete, a big kid. 205 pounds is a lot of guy coming at you on every down. They pick up the 1st down there, and the convenient part about this offensive strategy, Marty, is that you don't have to necessarily pull offensive linemen in order to get lead blocking backs for the running back or whoever has the ball at the point.
And again, it reminds me a lot of the single wing offense of the Giles Spartans. Of course, Blacksburg knows that well. Clock ticks down to 28 seconds still left in this first quarter, and they're trying to get the clock going. It's going to bring up a 1st down and 10 now after the 8-yard pickup by Osborne for Cave Spring. Defense having to come alive here for Blacksburg. This time the handoff goes to Horan on the far side. He's got some running room. He broke 2 tackles and found a hole. Going to pick up another 1st down. Check that, a total of 17 yards on the carry inside the Bruin territory.
Osborne just tearing a gash in the left side of the Blacksburg defensive line, cutting that ball up on the inside and breaking a nice run right down the gut.
Now that's the end of the first quarter with your score here at Bill Brown Stadium. Cave Springs 7 and the Blacksburg Bruins 3. We'll be right back after this. You are listening to Blacksburg Bruin Football, Super Talk 101.7.
One day these rats were playing in the woods. Wanted some matches and that's no good. Ow! Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Fire. Sort of gorgeous force is what you decide. Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Fire.
Quick pitch coming out of that tight formation for Cave Spring. This time goes to Osborne. Aiken on a little razzle-dazzle. Fake this out for a second. Going to pick up check that 7 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 3 now. Cave Spring trying to put together a drive, Kelly.
In Cave Spring, as long as they can keep a short field, Marty, they're going to be in good shape. 2nd and 3 to 2nd and 5 is exactly what they're looking for on every down. They're looking to get in there, get a quick hit, pick up 6 to 7, and really open up their options in terms of a passing game.
2nd and 3 for the Knights now. Inside Blacksburg territory. Quick pitch this time. It goes to the right side. And that again is to Osborne. He's going to pick up maybe a yard to bring up 3rd down now and 2.
A lot of movement out there, Marty. Difficult to pick up the ball from time to time because you see the ball pitched out and 4 white jerseys in the proximity of the pitch. And you rarely know until you see that pack of blue jerseys around them who has the ball.
Of course, Osborne came into the game as the workhorse for the Knights. He has 632 yards on the season, including 10 touchdowns. Defense for Bruins now. Need to slam this door real quick here. 3rd down and 2 for the Knights. Handoff this time goes to the far side. I believe that was Iran that time. And he gets back close to the 1st down. Going to be short maybe a yard. So he picks up about a yard, and it's going to bring up a decision time here. 4th down and 1 for Cave Spring.
Big time hold for this Bruin defense and Vaughn Phipps to cause the 4th down. If they can hold them here, if Cave Spring goes for it, which it looks like they will, if they need the big hold here in order to make a statement to this Cave Spring offense.
Starting at the 20-yard line now at the 40 of the Bruins. Handoff straight up the middle this time. It is to Osborne again. He's going to pick up the 1st down. Going to give him 4 yards on the carry. So 1st down and 10 now. The ball's just inside the 40-yard line of Blacksburg.
And you heard the faint cry of "Whoa, mule" right there, Marty, because when they're handing that up back, he's just plowing right up the gut like a pack mule and is going to make his 3 yards whenever he touches it.
38 yards on a total of 5 carries in this drive.
Great effort. This is what Cave Spring wants to do. This drive is the epitome of what they want to accomplish with their offense.
1st and 10 now at the 37-yard line of Blacksburg. All stacked in still. Handoff is to the short back. This time it is to Fralin. And he might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. They're going to give him, they gave him 5 yards. It looked like he just barely got back because he was going east to west instead of north to south.
Cave Spring looking to make this 3 yards in a cloud of dust. If it takes 4th down to pick up the last yard, they're willing to take that risk. I think they'd be willing to take it all the way back here on their own 40 to make these drives long and time-consuming.
Flying by now, 9 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. We've only seen 4 penalties in this game. This time the handoff, no, it's to the up back. They surprised us a little bit. He's going to break away down the left side and be knocked out at about the 3 on that carry.
Number 36 on the carry, Chauncey Lump. Taking the double handoff. The first handoff went to number 24, Osborne. Osborne coming back to the same side he was started at, handing it off to Lump. Lump breaking it big as the Blacksburg defensive line shifted to the left to pick up Osborne.
Ball is marked at about the 2-yard line. It was 24 yards on the pickup. So 1st and goal now as Cave Spring knocking on the door at 8:54. The Bruin defense needing to find a stand. Stacked formation still remains for Cave Spring. Aiken at quarterback. This time he's going to pitch it to Lump again, and looks like, yes, he is in. Lump picks up the score from 2 yards out.
Great fake on behalf of Cave Spring to carry out that fake. Aiken taking 2 blockers to the far left while Lump is cutting it up on the inside behind him, drawing the defenders with him. Aiken allowing his running back to get a little easier path to the end zone.
And you said it early on, it's very tough to see who's got the ball. And if you're playing defense, man, oh man.
Got a 6'4" guy controlling the ball too, which doesn't make it any easier.
Partially blocked there, but the kick is up and is good. So with 8:49 to go in this first half, the score is Cave Spring 14 and the Blacksburg Bruins 3. We'll take a break and be right back after this. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruin football on Super Talk 101.7.
Why do I call it a funny bone? Why can't penguins fly? Like a sea safety. Can we go to the moon on vacation?
If you think it's tough answering these questions, imagine the ones you'll get if your child is diagnosed with cancer. CureSearch.org can help. It's run by doctors and scientists whose research has led to an overall cure rate of 78%. You're not as alone as you feel.
And the kick by Cave Spring to about the 6-yard line, and the officials have stopped play. No return there. We'll wait and see what happened. Penalties called offsides against the Cave Spring Knights on the kickoff.
Marty, in 10 years, 15 years of football, I don't think I've ever seen a side judge make the call on what that flag was. It's the guy in the white hat. You know, that's typically what we see.
Moving back to the 35-yard line, Blacksburg had set up a return. 8:49 to go now. The Bruins showing 14-3 to Cave Spring as they get ready to kick off. And set to kick off Kenny Horan, the backup quarterback, who's done the kicking duty so far for the Knights.
I don't know if we made Horan mad, but he laid into that last one. He put that ball on the 10.
He's listening to you, Kelly. This time a swivel kick straight up the middle. And it's going to be taken about the 32-yard line. Going to be brought back out to the 40. Don't know why Horan there, but
didn't let me down that time.
No, he
dropped
did.
the ball.
It's going to be first and 10 at the 40-yard line on a nice short kick and returned by Blacksburg. So with 8:43, they take over.
Blacksburg needs to respond on this possession, Marty. It's critical that they get the ball, drive the field quickly, and put 7 on the board. We can't put another 3 on the board and attempt to compete with this very time-consuming, powerful Cave Spring offense.
Yeah, Cave Spring in that last drive, 10 plays. They went 80 yards, Kelly, on 10 plays and chewed up almost 6 minutes of the clock. Gresh in a shotgun formation, going to hand off the Keys. This time Cave Spring all over it. They saw that one coming and spread offense, and he's going to lose about 2 yards.
Quincy Ruckert on the stop there, Marty, and this high collar tackling I'm not terribly comfortable with. I'd like to see guys get down and tackle around the hips. It's terribly dangerous for these young men to be tackling up around the neck area, and that's the second or third one of those we've seen tonight.
2nd and 12 now with 2 receivers, or check that, 3 receivers on the far side for the Bruins, 1 on this side. Gresh in the shotgun formation with Keys the lone setback. Gresh back to pass. He rolls right. He's got 3 receivers over there. He's got 1 open right in the middle, and that's who he's going to go to. Nice completion. This time to LaPrusa. He's got running room. He comes back across the field and takes it to about the 42-yard line of Cave Spring. So you're looking at a 23-yard pickup on that pass.
And we've got to give big-time credit on this play. Number 52, Taylor James, the center for this offense, coming around and picking up the blitzing defensive end for Cave Spring, giving his quarterback the time to make that pass and catch by Harrison LaPuasa. A great, great play, heads-up play by number 52, Taylor James, the captain of this offensive line as the center.
Gresh this time now going up under center with a power I formation, split receivers both sides. Fakes a handoff, going to roll left again. This time he's going to go to his fullback, or check at the tailback at his Keys on the far side, and he picks up 6 yards on the quick pass.
It looked like Blacksburg was going for all the marbles, coming off a big play. Went with the play action and tried to catch the defense off guard, and then was looking for the deep play downfield Gresh with a great, very smart play to lay that ball out in the flat and pick up the 6 or 7 that he was able to.
And the spread offense, of course, you mentioned it earlier, the linebackers have to try to cover some people on that defense. But then when Gresh rolls out, you got the 4 down linemen chasing, trying to get back into the play. 2 receivers on this side of the field this time. Gresh is going to keep the ball. Had some running room for a moment, but the hole closed up. It's going to pick up maybe 2 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and 2.
The best tackle that Blacksburg could have hoped for, though, as the Cave Spring defensive lineman came from behind, pushing Gresh forward, picking up the extra yardage to create a 3rd and relatively short situation.
And Coach Chris got to be very happy with his young quarterback. Looking very good tonight, rolling out, making some crisp passes, and working his feet almost perfect, directing this offense now like he'd been at the helm for a while. 6:50, clock ticks down in the 2nd quarter. Time a worst enemy right now. Movement on the Cave Spring line, but no flag. Gresh back under center is going to keep it, and it's going to be close to the 1st down. We'll have to wait and see where they mark it. It looks like he got it, but we'll wait and see for the spot.
Going to be a close one, Marty. Interesting call. 3rd and a little bit better than a yard, it looked like, from up here. Interesting call on the QB sneak. They're going to call the men out, the chain gang out, to get a good measurement on this.
Going to be right at the marker. Gresh, I think, had a different play call, but he saw the movement, early movement by the Cave Spring defense with no flag, and he tried to take advantage of it and kept it on the quarterback keeper. Here comes the chains being spread out. And it is a 1st down, so good job by Trey Gresh, the youngster.
Great coverage courtesy of WTOB for us here in the booth by a football link. Picked that one up.
And nice to have a TV shot of it with the camera zooming in. And we got a TV setting right beside Kelly. Of course, we mentioned that the replay of this game and all Blacksburg High School home football games Monday at 7 p.m. and Wednesday at 3 p.m. only on WTOB Channel 2. Hand off to Keys this time. He goes right side, picks up 3 yards, going to mark it down close to the 25-yard line of Cave Spring. Right now, clock ticks down to 6:25 as Blacksburg knocking on the door again.
Cave Spring with a very stingy defense here in this drive. Blacksburg taking the shots where they have opportunities. But Cave Spring being pretty stingy, bringing people down on first contact, not allowing for that extra yardage to be picked up.
3 receivers on the far side this time, and Gresh lone setback is Keys. 1 receiver this side. He looks at the pass again. He's got a receiver open, and it is completed that time very quickly to Greg Keys. He broke 2 tackles. A missed tackle there. He's going to pick up a 1st down and takes it down inside the 10-yard line, Kelly.
My heart skips a beat, I swear, every time. Gresh drops back. He lets that ball go before Keys even turns around. Keys turns around and just, bam, catches the ball, turns it on the outside.
He has faith he's going to be there. And I tell you what, Trey Gresh has looked very good tonight.
Great anticipation tonight.
He's had 2 passes that were incomplete. 1 was a penalty, so really he's only had 1 incomplete pass so far.
Typically the anticipation that you like to see on a week off, to come back on a short week like they did and have this type of timing is great. 3
receivers the far side, or our side this time. Handoff is to Keys. Keys got some running room there for a second, but the hole closed. He might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. Ball is marked at the 13-yard line, so we can get a 1st down here. Loss of 1, going to bring up 2nd and 11 as they mark it.
Not easy for those offensive linemen to switch between the pass protection and the run protection, especially when you're going from the shotgun spread formation. A lot of compliments to their effort in this drive because they've made it happen for this offense.
And that's one thing coming in. Coach Chris knew that these youngsters need to learn this defense very quickly. Power I formation with Gresh back under center. He's going to go back to pass. This time he went to the corner and his receiver went the other way.
Tough spot there. He released that ball in anticipation. DeSalvo had his man beat on the inside. Had he let one rip over the left side, he might have had a touchdown there.
3rd down and 11 now. Big play for the Bruins as they're driving deep in Cave Spring territory.
And you cannot stall out here, Marty. I can't make any more emphasis of this. You cannot stall out here.
And to get everything right, coach is going to take the final timeout of the quarter, or the half. Cave Spring still has 2 timeouts, so we're going to stay with it here. 4:49 to go in the 1st half. Your score is Cave Spring 14 and Blacksburg 3. homecoming at Bill Brown Stadium.
Blacksburg put 7 on the board here, 14-10 going into a final stoppage. Hopefully the defense can come out and really stand up and shut down this Cave Spring offense. They may get the ball back one more time before this quarter's out.
You're definitely right if the defense can come through. Of course, they will receive the kickoff to begin the second half, and that's big there.
And one thing at a time. Let's punch this one in. Let's not get a field goal here. This team has got to put 7 on the board here to feel confident about their chances in the second half.
Again, the district opener for both teams. Cave Spring came in at 5-0 overall. Of course, we remind you they came in unbeaten last year, and having rolled through non-district play and only won 2 games in the district. So it shows how tough the River Ridge is. We hope to have some scores from our spotters back in the studio on our other 2 games going on, Christiansburg and Salem, and also Hidden Valley and Pulaski County. 3rd down and 11 now. 2 receivers our side of the field, 2 backs in this time with Gresh. He rolls to the right side. He's got a receiver open in the end zone. He has to come back and get the ball. It is completed this time. Nice completion to Tyler Holmes on the reception, playing offense.
What did we say at the outset? Whenever there's a big play, this guy is just around.
Oh my goodness. The man we talk about on defense just made the biggest catch of the game. 4:43. The ball was marked at the 1-yard line.
He just hangs around. If there's a big play to be made, number 6 will be hanging around and somehow will be involved in it.
1st down and goal now. Knocking on the door. They go to power formation. Handoff is to the deep back for Keys. He's in. He follows his blockers in. Touchdown, Bruins.
Follows is mighty generous. He ran over.
Oh, my goodness.
He ran over his up back, his blocking back, number 4, Sean Bennett there, was not going to be denied that touchdown. Great effort on behalf of Latrell Keys.
This is a great job by this young offense. They started at their 40-yard line. They have driven straight down the field. They scored thanks to a big play, 15-yard pass to Holmes, and now Keys has knocked it in. And Cave Spring can't get it straight on the extra point. They're going to have to take a timeout. That leaves them with 1.
Blacksburg going for 2 there, caught Cave Spring off guard. Blacksburg really trying to close into a field goal, so hopefully going into the half they might be strategizing for that late first half drive. Try to pick up a field goal. They know that Violet's got the leg tonight. He's looked good all night.
And what a momentum change we've seen here. 4:25 to go. Blacksburg punches it in. It's 14-9 now in this homecoming game. Again, the home opener in the district play for Blacksburg and the opener for Cave Spring in district play.
This is a gutsy call by Coach Chris because you're down by 5 at this point. If you score the extra point, you're still by a touchdown. So a gutsy play on behalf of Coach Chris here, and hopefully it'll pay off.
Clock's down to 4:25. And I expect we'll see the power I formation. Everybody stacked in again. Yeah, Keys just found a hole and followed his blockers in this time, or last time for the touchdown. Gresh behind center, 2 setbacks in the power I formation. Heavy load on the right side. Gresh is going to keep it, and he looks to pass. He's got a man in the end zone. It's intercepted by Cave Spring. No good on the 2-point conversion. So with 4:25 to go in the second quarter, your score stands Cave Spring 14 and the Blacksburg Bruins 9. We'll take a break and come back in a moment. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruin Football on Super Talk 101.7.
But we've done some things where he jumps off from the side. And we've done some things passing him back and forth. We've done some activities where he floats on his back, on his stomach. I think swimming is a fun thing you can do with your kid. And I think it's good for kids to learn about being in the water.
The Water Babies class is one of the many classes that the Blacksburg Parks and Rec Department has to offer for you and your child. Call 961-1135 or visit www.blacksburg.gov/recreation.
And back at Bill Brown Stadium, where Latrell Keys has just punched it in to make it a 14-9 game. Here comes the kickoff for Blacksburg. It's going to be high kick this time, taking about the 9-yard line. Going to be brought out there by Haran for Cave Spring, and special team all over him for the Bruins. He's going to get back to the 24-yard line. So with 4:17 to go, Kelly, Cave Spring takes over, and the momentum definitely changed. We'll have to see if it pours over now to the defense for the Bruins.
Big play here for the defense. The defense can really show themselves well here, get a big stop, turn the ball back over to the offense. They've only got one timeout left, and that's on the Cave Spring side of the ball. Blacksburg without any timeouts can't stop the clock, but there's 4 minutes, plenty of football left to be played.
That power formation, so to speak, for Cave Spring sets up now. Handoff this time is to Osborne. Been the workhorse this evening. Is the workhorse in that offense. Picks up 7 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 3.
We haven't seen number 5 Stuart Worley. Don't have any update on his condition. Hopefully we'll find out something at halftime. But really a tough shot earlier, making a tackle. Caught on his forearm. Looked like he had to be taken off by the trainers, and I hope he's doing okay.
Big play on that drive for Blacksburg was the catch by Tyler Holmes, 16 yards to get it down to the 1. His 2nd catch of the year, maybe the biggest. Power formation still for Cave Spring. 2nd down and 3. Handoff to the up back this time. Looked like it was a Ram. We'll wait and see. When they pick up from that pile, he picks up the 1st down, going to give him about 6 yards on the carry.
Looked like number 24 carrying there. Osborne with his seemingly 300th carry of this game. Really being the workhorse for this team. But again, 2nd and 3. How many times are we going to have to see that tonight? 2nd and 3, 2nd and 3, 2nd and 3.
1st down and 10 now for Cave Spring. Power formation still remains. Pass this time, though, comes out of that formation. This time it's to Osborne at midfield. It's going to be knocked out close to the 1st down marker. We'll see where they mark it. Osborne close to 100 yards now. Kelly rushing in the first half. With 3:12 to go, he catches a pass.
And I'm really impressed by Aiken. He just flicks that ball with his wrist, and it sails 15, 20 yards across the field, 10 yards down. He is a good-looking quarterback right now in terms of his mechanics and at this senior level. Good prospect.
1st and 10 now. They picked up an 11-yard gain. Going to be inside the 48-yard line of Blacksburg. Aiken, the deep back, going to hand off to Osborne. No, a little razzle-dazzle. They hand it to the 2nd back. Ball was on the ground, but recovered by Aiken. On the carry that time on the 2nd handoff, and we're starting to see it very similar to the single wing. That was number 36, Lump, on the carry when it was all done. He picks up 8 yards. They recovered that fumble. Aiken was at the right place at the right time. And one thing that impresses me about Aiken is that on the handoffs, back on the 2nd handoff, so to speak, Aiken is leading the way on the blocks. 2nd and about 2 now for Cave Spring. Back to pass is Aiken. He's got a man open down the middle. He's going to flick it out there and complete it at the 31-yard line. Nice pass by the Knights.
Big completion to Reddick there coming downfield. They've run that reverse play, Marty, 3 times, and in all 3 times they've had big gainers out of it. The touchdown, the big break before the 2nd score, and then just then the play before that last one with a big run.
18-yard pickup on that pass to Reddick. The ball was marked at about the 27-yard line. Cave Spring knocking on the door now after Blacksburg punched one in. Pitch back is to Osborne. Osborne's got some running room. Check that on the carry. That is Haran.
Great cut.
Nice hole there that he found. Picks up about 4 on the mark when they finally clear him out of the pile. He got 9 yards on the carry. Going to bring up 2nd and 1.
Great cut by Haran, recognizing the gap up the middle, putting on the brakes, stopping on a dime. Number 22 for Cave Spring, Andrew Feldenzer, going off the field a little bit gimpy. Looks like he might have an ankle injury.
2nd down and 2 now for Cave Spring. Knocking on the door again. Razzle-dazzle, 2nd handoff. It goes to Osborne after Haran got it. And going to mark it about the 15-yard line. Looks like he picks up another 1st down. Going to pick up 3 yards on the carry. And it reminds me so much of the Giles Spartans in the single wing because they're doing a lot of razzle-dazzle inside that formation.
Not seeing a terrible amount of success going away from us here in the booth. Seems like a lot of that reverse play coming back towards the booth has been much more successful.
This time the pitch back goes to Haran. Haran's got running room up the middle. And it's going to be pulled down at the goal line. There, oh, they say he's in, so that's going to take it from about 17-yard out. Touchdown for Cave Spring. Haran on the carry.
3-minute drive by Cave Spring. Cave Spring really showing their diversity there, the ability to drive the field in just 3 minutes, predominantly on the ground for them, save for the one big reception to Reddick. Good performance by Cave Spring there.
76 yards on the drive. Extra point now with 1:06 to go is up. Looks like someone got a hand on it, but it still is in there, and it is good, so it's going to make the score with 1:06 to go here in the first half. Cave Spring 21 and Blacksburg Bruins 9. We'll stay with it because they're moving quickly here to get into halftime. You're right, Kelly. A nice drive by Cave Spring. Now, again, they started at their own 24-yard line and chewed off about 3 minutes and 10 seconds with the workhorse being Osborne. But the big play coming on the pass to Reddick, 18 yards from Aiken.
By far their most impressive drive of the game, Marty, and I think more so because of the very little time it took them to drive the field. Driving the field in just 3 minutes, predominantly on the ground. A great effort on behalf of Cave Spring there, and it's difficult to defend when you got so many weapons as Cave Spring does. It's difficult for Blacksburg to focus on one and try to defeat that single element.
So with 1:06 left to go, Blacksburg's going to get the ball back. And we'll see what type of kick Haran gets off for Cave Spring. Defense still doing a good job, but the razzle-dazzle out there for Cave Spring is just caught them off guard a couple times.
And how demoralizing when you hold a team to 3 yards and 7-yard pickups and then they break the big 20-yard pass, the 20-yard run on you.
Keys back to receive the kickoff. They're going to stay away from him and go to the left side. It's taking about the 10-yard line. That's where Blacksburg's going to bring it out. Some running room there for a second, and it closed up quickly and brings it out to the 29-yard line. And that's where Blacksburg's going to take over. First down and 10 now with about a minute to go in this first half.
Not unreasonable to see Blacksburg drive the field here and have some success either with a field goal or a touchdown. I'm sure that's what Coach Chris is telling them right now. We got 1 minute. We need to contract our huddles. We need to make sure that we're running as efficiently as possible to have some success at the end of this quarter. And
Blacksburg has had some success driving all the way from their 40-yard line in the last drive to score, to set it up at 14-9. Receivers split both sides. Power I formation this time. Gresh in under center. First and 10. Handoff. No, Gresh had to end up keeping it. And maybe loses 2 yards. Miscommunication seemed like there, but Gresh loses 2 yards. Had to keep it on the. So it's going to bring 2nd and 12 as clock ticks down to about 44 seconds. And let's see if they can get another play in here, Kelly.
Number 50, Jeff Wardak, with a big play there, coming right up the gut and getting a big paw on Gresh.
Gresh power out formation is just going to take a knee and let the clock run out here. Down to under 20 seconds, and expect that we won't see another play. Blacksburg just standing there waiting. Officials spot the ball.
Cave Spring going to call a
timeout. 13 seconds left to go. They're going to make it interesting here.
Coach Fulton doing the smart thing, trying to take as much advantage of this clock as he can. Blacksburg with no more timeouts. All they should have to do on this 3rd and 13 is down the ball and get the clock started, and that should run out the rest of the clock.
3rd down and 14 for the Bruins.
With just 13 seconds left, when Gresh takes the snap and downs it, the clock will run. Since Cave Spring cannot stop the clock, it'll run out and we'll go into halftime. Score being 21-9, Cave Spring on top. First half, Marty, I think that Cave Spring has been a lot more dominant than both of us expected at this point.
Yeah, and they've definitely been able to drive down on this defense. Now, we hope that our studio producers back on our different stations can give us some scores here shortly. You can call in and give me some scores so we can get them on the air for our listeners that might be interested in the other games going on around the area, especially in the River Ridge District. 3rd down and 14 for the Bruins. Again, 13 seconds. Gresh under center. He's going to take a knee, and the clock is going to run out. And that's going to be the halftime mark here with your score, Cave Spring 21 and your Blacksburg Bruins 9. We'll take a break and be right back after this. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruin Football on Super Talk 101.7.
When I'm under, I don't breathe. I'm weightless. My heart races. I'm floating away. And when it's over, all I think about is doing it again.
Michael Swan is under the influence of his volunteer swim coach. By spending time coaching, he helps Michael stay off the street and off drugs. Be a coach, a mentor, a volunteer, because you have something to offer.
Hi. Being there for kids is super good fun.
All it takes is a little know-how. Curiosity. The key to a lifetime of discovery.
Kids will go to mighty great lengths to impress you.
Kids know what's cool. Good thing you don't have to. Moments like these happen every day.
Lend your support. Go to bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
Until next time.
All right, there we are back, and we'll see it's a little bit clearer. Again, homecoming here at Bill Brown Stadium as the Blacksburg Bruins hosting the Cave Spring Knights. A couple scores, Kelly, interesting scores to bring our listeners up to speed on. Radford leads Floyd County 16-7 in a great game there. And even a bigger surprise, Pulaski leads Hidden Valley 6-0.
They're tough. Marty, we've known it all season. We've said it over and over again. Pulaski is a tough team. Their 3-2 record a week ago, or 2 weeks ago before they had their open week, was not indicative of the type of team that they were putting out on the field. Krause is a great running back. I'm more surprised by that Floyd score, to tell you the truth. 16-7, it's almost a score fest for both those teams because neither one of them is an offensive powerhouse.
And a big game, of course, in district play. And, you know, a lot of people, including on the pregame show, Rick Watson and Dan Callahan, were talking about it. This could be, in that game of Floyd and Radford, they're playing for maybe the number 3 spot behind Giles and Glenver, and maybe they could pull an upset of one of those top 10 teams.
That would be a tight upset in there. If they were going to win one, it would be a tight one off a couple of consecutive wins by either one of those teams. I think that Radford has the best opportunity to do that with a win this week. If they rolled into Eastmont and Auburn and were able to pick up 3 wins right in a row, they might go in with a lot of confidence in one of those spare games.
Of course, just down the road, also Salem and Christiansburg. We're hoping to get a score. If our producers back there can get anything on that, we'd appreciate it. We'd like to bring that score to our listeners here in New Valley.
Interested to see who shows up in that game, as we talked about before, Marty. Whether
exactly right.
the highly power-rated Salem Spartans show up, or the team that just got by the next worst team probably in this district, north side at this point.
Of course, no surprises here. We knew that Cave Spring was going to come out and do a power formation and try to run the ball right down at the defense, but 2 big passes picked up a score here for Cave Spring that blew it a little bit open going into the locker room.
Big plays for Blacksburg and Cave Spring both. Killing Blacksburg right now is Cave Spring lulling them to sleep with this 5- and 6-yard run game right up the gut, and then coming back with that quick hitting reverse that comes back against the flow, completely opposite of the offense that they've been running to that point, and picks up 15 to 20 yards. Reddick has been killing them the couple of times he's had the ball thrown to him up the line. Somebody's got to get a body on him. But overall, Blacksburg has looked good. Just Cave Spring to this point has looked that much better because Blacksburg's had some big plays as well. Big reception by Tyler Holmes in the touchdown there, or right at the goal line that they needed. It was a big play. Caleb Violet, very capable field goal kicker at this point. So Blacksburg not out of this game by far.
And right now, coming in at the half, Latrell Keys has 8 carries for only 9 yards, but that touchdown. Now Trey Gresh has 5 carries. This is the big plus for the Blacksburg Bruins. 25 yards unofficial and rushing in the first half.
Really got this spotty reception here, Marty. A bright spot for the Bruins really to have Gresh out there playing so well. running the ball, making smart decisions. But it seems like in this first half, at least the feeling in the booth is that Blacksburg just hasn't had the ball enough. And when they had the ball, they would drive the field and put together a great drive, but not come away with the quick strike points or the 7 points that they needed on the drive.
And the big factor is Gresh has opened up a little bit in the passing game. We don't have the total yards there, but at least 50 yards on the passing has kept it in the game here, kept the Bruins in the game. They went for that 2-point conversion, and it failed in the pass, so they trailed 21-9 at half. We're going to take another break here as we continue the long halftime festivities. It's homecoming at Bill Brown Stadium. You are listening to Bruin Football on Super Talk 101.7.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I live the Army values.
I will never
accept defeat.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough.
I am a professional.
I am a professional.
I am the guardian of freedom
and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am the Army National Guard.
Defend freedom. In the Army National Guard, you can. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com today.
You'll never have to stop and ask for directions, and you'll be helping a busload of people. Now, when you pass by, everybody will take notice. If you're at least 20 and have a good driving record, and you're interested in driving for the best transit system in Virginia, visit us at www.btransit.org or give us a call at 961-1185. Blacksburg Transit, we're your bus line.
And welcome back to Bill Brown Stadium. Homecoming activities with about 5 minutes left to go in halftime here. They're introducing the homecoming court. Nice looking group out there, Kelly. We hope to have the winners here shortly, and we can announce the king and queen for you. It's unusual out there. Several of the candidates are being escorted by their parents, some by girlfriends, some by mothers. It's a mixture out there. I'm very proud, though, of this group. I mean, when you see the parents escorting their daughters and even their sons coming through, and even more here, we must have the ring holder or the crown holder is about a 2-year-old youngster and little girl carrying the roses. So we're about to find out here very quickly who the king and queen are.
They got my vote, Marty. The 2-year-olds down in front. They're not holding hands. They're standing 4 feet apart, and great group.
And there's our king. We'll get the name here shortly. Crowd goes crazy, and here comes our queen. We'll find out the names here in a moment. Hopefully we'll have maybe get them up here. Well, coming back in the second half, we saw it in that game last week, Northside. It was a different team that came back out for the Bruins.
Absolutely, and we hope that certainly this week's team comes out stronger. I think part of last week, Marty, was that when the team came out in the second half, it was bad weather conditions. It wasn't the best of situations for Blacksburg out there. It was easy to get down on themselves in the second half, and really no one put an offensive score on the board of import, and so there was never the engagement. There was never the offense being engaged by the defense or vice versa. Here in the second half of this game, Cave Spring is going to challenge this Blacksburg Bruin team. They're never going to let down. I would be surprised to see them do anything except pound away at 4- and 5-yard chunks at a time, trying to break the big run at all times, the 15 to 20-yard reverse play, or the long pass upfield to Reddick. So I think what we're looking at in the second half for this Cave Spring team is much of the same, and Blacksburg is going to have to respond defensively and offensively, and hopefully mix in a couple of turnovers in there to make themselves a more viable candidate to win this game in the end.
And again, you've seen these youngsters grow up. Kelly, of course, you did the first few games before I joined you, but in the last 2 weeks, these kids are starting to impress me. And Trey Gresh, not only running the ball, but sprinting out and passing the ball, has done a good job tonight.
There's no quit in this team, Marty. We've seen that all season. There is no quit in this team. They're going to fight tooth and nail, but like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, for this team to win, they're going to have to make it close in the end, and with 2 or 3 minutes left in the game, they're going to have to be in a position to kick a field goal or be on a drive to score the touchdown to win the game. That's the best way, the best opportunity that they're going to have to win this game, especially with the show that Cave Spring put in put on in the first half. Not exciting, smash mouth football, but certainly effective.
Well, if I can read the writing here, our 2005 homecoming king and queen from Blacksburg High School. The king is Jeff Munch, and the queen is Ariel Burby.
Ariel Burby.
And we're going to try to get them up here with us in the second half and say congratulations. So you've heard it first here, the king and queen on this broadcast.
Anyone that is associated or related to these people, congratulations. Ariel was one of the folks escorted by our parents, Ingrid and Tom Burby, out there, and Jeff Minch was escorted by his parents as well, Larry, Lori, and Garrett. So congratulations to them. Hope to get them up here in the second half. Maybe they've got some better football analysis than we've offered. Hopefully they're going to be offering something of import here, maybe about the homecoming dance tomorrow, or hopefully they can lead their team to victory up here in a victory chant of some sorts.
And a nice job by the Blacksburg band. You know, we don't mention the cheerleaders, the band members, and people like that enough. And, you know, you want to take and pat these kids on the back for participating, especially when it comes to band participating. We're seeing at most schools in Southwest Virginia the numbers are few and far between. And Blacksburg has managed to keep a very good number on the band. They look very nice out there in the Blacksburg Bruin uniforms. Of course, with their dress uniforms, so to speak, they wore tonight for homecoming. Those nice jackets, and you know, really the band boosters should be congratulated as well because they do a good job in raising money.
And we don't see or talk about it enough, Marty, but this band is a good band.
Exactly
I stand right beside this window. I get the earful
You get the ear
every week, but I'm telling you, this is a good band.
Well,
Very
Kelly, we're going to
impressive.
take a quick break and come back for the second half. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruin football on Super Talk 101.7.
You know, we sing for millions of girls, but helping out in schools, that's the real deal, baby.
I know our love can multiply, 'cause you're the X and I'm the Y.
I'm the cute one, you know what I'm saying? So, have you ever been backstage before?
Okay, guys, this is an abacus, an old school calculator. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like the circle and the square, our geometry is a perfect pair.
Now, why should kids know about gravity?
Well, gravity holds them down.
I once was one, but now we're two.
I'm spinning out of control.
Square my love to you.
Oh. And welcome back to Bill Brown Stadium. Homecoming 2005, the opening of the River Ridge District play for the Bruins. It's Cave Spring Knights, both teams slowly getting out on the field here. There's a little bit longer halftime because of the homecoming activities. Blacksburg will receive the kick to begin the second half. Our score as we get ready to get things back going is Cave Spring 21, the Blacksburg Bruins 9.
Congratulatory clap. Number 5, Stuart Worley, leading the team out on in the second half. Going to be captaining to choose up sides for the second half here. Seems to be no worse for the wear after what looked like a gruesome injury in the first half. We've got no cast. We've got no sling. He's in a helmet, pads, and ready to get down to business.
Tough player. Good to have him back.
Well,
and again, it'd be good to get that offense back on the field for Blacksburg.
Blacksburg going to start with it looks like here in the second half. Going to be defending the end zone farthest from the stadium clock and stadium scoreboard.
Cave Spring 160 yards rushing in that first half, 44 yards passing. And the key figure there is for Blacksburg. They only had 60 yards rushing, 59 yards passing. A total offense of just barely over 100 yards. 202 yards to 113, with Cave Spring favoring there.
Right now, Coach Christ had to go into halftime saying, guys, we are repeating what our statistics tell us. We allow 30 points a game, and we're going to score about 12. And right now, that's exactly what we're doing. We're not running the ball effectively. We're not passing it effectively. And most importantly, we're not putting scores on the board where we have opportunities to do it.
And the statistic is kind of deceiving. Possession time, Blacksburg had the ball for 12 minutes, 32 seconds, while Cave Spring had it for 11 minutes, but Cave Spring had 3 quick plays to get some points on the board.
And a surprising statistic, I think, especially associated with this offense of Cave Spring, which is a grinded out 3 yards in a cloud of dust type offense, to see Blacksburg leading the time of possession battle.
And you're looking at still, Trey Gresh had a total of 22 yards in the first half. Officially now we're listing Latrell Keys at 33 yards in that first half.
They're going to have to find a way to stop that reverse. Chauncey Lump was the primary weapon for Cave Spring on that reverse, resulting in 5 carries in the first half, 66 yards on the ground, a 13-yard average, which is pretty much 3 of those rushes, Marty. 3 of those reverse rushes that went for 15 and 20 yards apiece.
You're looking at Osborne. Will Osborne had 47 yards, while Penny Horan had 41 from Cave Spring. And speaking of Horan, he's lining up to kick it off to Blacksburg. Back deep is Keys, and they kept it away from him for most of the kickoffs we've seen in the first half. We'll see what happens this time.
It's good to see that somebody watched the tape before the game. That's always good to see, Marty.
Cave Spring, the kick is back, and it's going to be bounces out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. So Rand not getting off a good kick to begin the second half.
Just the start that Blacksburg needed, though. They need the good field position here. They need the quick start. They need to see their offense come out on the field and make some plays early on in the second half that'll hopefully replicate into an excellent, excellent game.
Ball is going to come out now to the 35-yard line. We're joined in the booth here by our winning king and queen. We'll talk to them in just a moment. It's going to be first down and 10 now for the Bruins on offense to begin the second half. Ball's marked at the 35-yard line. And the momentum shifted there a little bit in the second quarter, but went back Cave Spring way as they put up the last points on the scoreboard. Power I formation this time. The handoff is to the deep back. That is Keys. He might have got back to the original line of scrimmage as Gresh was under center. Going to bring up second and 10 now, as no gain on that play for Keys to begin the second half.
A foundation second half starter for the Blacksburg team. Build some confidence, get the Butterflies knocked out early, and they go right back to Keys there on the first play of the second half to get the game started again.
Receivers 3 on the far side, 1 on this side. Gresh is in shotgun formation. He sprints a little bit left and goes down the right side of the field, and Salvo was open for a moment and overthrows him just a little bit there. Check that. Yeah, that was the Salvo down there. He had 3 receivers that time. You're right, about a half a step, so it's going to bring up third and 10 now with the pass incomplete down the middle.
Half a step and just absolute heartbreak, Marty, because that ball was thrown on a bead by Gresh. Great pass and just a half a step too far for DeSalvo to reel that one in.
Third down and long now for the Bruins to begin the second half. Fake handoff is the Keys. Gresh goes left side, and he's under some pressure. Aiken out there. He's got a receiver out on the left side. It's going to be ruled incomplete. It's going to bring up fourth down and 10. That time a little pressure by Aiken, the quarterback playing defense on both sides of the ball for Cave Spring, and Gresh had to throw a quick one out.
And how convenient for Cave Spring to have Aiken on defense to read those offensive plays and be able to make quicker decisions than the defensive end who may be focused on rush and rush only.
So Cave Spring has given up no yards to begin the second half, as Blacksburg will now have to punt. Ball is marked at the 35. Here comes the punt. Nice kick this time. Going to go back to about the 25-yard line. Carries the Cave Spring receiver back to the 20. Good coverage there, but he breaks 2 tackles. Got running room down the right side. He's at the 40. He's at midfield. We got a flag on the play. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line on the Blacksburg side of the field. But we're going to wait and see. It looks like there might have been a clip on the far side at about the 30-yard line. That's going to bring it way back, Kelly, on a nice return by Cave Spring after a nice kick by Blacksburg.
He bobbled the return at the outset, but was able to get control of the ball, dodge one tackler, and looks like he might have got a couple of block in the back help as he was going down the field. The referee now.
45-yard kick on that punt.
Illegal block is the call. A couple of canaries on the field that they're picking up.
10-yard penalty, and it's going to mark it at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Cave Spring. Again, we got Jeff and Ariel in here. If you would do me a favor, Kelly, just take your headset off and put the mic up. We're going to ask Jeff, first of all, congratulations, and to be named king tonight. Was it a little unexpected? I mean, you went crazy down there.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting I was pretty shocked. It's cool to have me king. That's pretty cool. I hope we win now. Need to put some points on the board.
Yeah, we're hoping that maybe you'll bring in some luck up here. Ariel, if you'll step over here a moment. Congratulations again to you.
Thank you.
Our king and queen, Jeff and Ariel. Was it a surprise to you? I mean,
it was a surprise. I really had no idea. I've grown up with all the girls down there, and we all know each other really well, and we're pretty tight, and so it was exciting.
Well, congratulations, and play back on the field. They moved it back, Kelly, on the mark, all the way to the 16-yard line where he carried it back, so that was a big penalty for Cave Spring. And 2 yards on the carry by Osborne, going to bring up 2nd and 8. Well, again, congratulations to Jeff and Ariel, and thank you for stopping by.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Ariel. Yeah,
So
big time
penalty
there. A big pickup for Blacksburg to get that penalty and drive Cave Spring deep in the hole back there.
2nd down now. That it's going to be handoff to Rand. Aiken leading the way, and ball's on the field, and we'll see who comes up with it. Ball was loose for a moment. And Cave Spring recovers. As a matter of fact, they picked up 3 yards on the fumble recovery and gave them the 1st down, Kelly.
Blacksburg just cannot get a break here. 3 blue jerseys around that ball, and number 50 for Cave Spring was able to jert in there and really pick up that ball. Jeff Wardak on the cover. Just a tough break. Not only do they get the tackle and the turnover, but Cave Spring recovers the ball and gets 3 yards on the pickup.
Iran with 11-yard pickup on that net there. 1st down and 10 for Cave Spring as they begin their 2nd drive of the 2nd half. This time is to the left side goes Osborne. He picks up 8 yards on the carry.
Blacksburg's going to have to find a way to get penetration and stop this 2nd down and 7, 2nd down and 8 stuff and push this team back.
And marks the ball now out to about the 38 as the clock ticks down under 10 minutes. The score still Cave Spring 21 and the Bruins 9. Defense now trying to get it together. They need to slam the door here quickly. Right now they need a turnover. This would be perfect time for a turnover for the Bruin defense. Aiken at quarterback still. The big 6'4", 200-pound quarterback for Cave Spring pitches back this time to Osborne. Maybe picks up 2 yards, but that is good enough for a 1st down.
The 2nd and short is really killing Blacksburg right now because the defense is out on the field for longer. They're easier pickups, and it gives the Cave Spring offense a lot of variety that they wouldn't have if they were in a 2nd and long situation, which would be optimal for Blacksburg.
And for you, those sitting at home or listening to your car radio, we would again describe the Cave Spring offense much like the single wing of Giles. A lot of handoffs, a lot of movement, and this young defense trying to regroup here and then stop them. 1st down and 10 now. Again, Aiken this time fakes the handoff to Osborne and goes to the up back. And that time the carry was Lump.
And I think we found out where Lump's yards went for us on the 1st half.
5 yards on the pickup, 2nd down and 5. It's hard to tell from up here even who's got the ball. We've got the added advantage of looking at the TV coverage right beside us, and still it's very tough to tell.
A lot of bodies in there, a lot of white jerseys all piled up in the center. It's a miraculous that Cave Spring can even get 5 yards on these carries when they're all jumbled up.
2nd down and 5 now for Cave Spring. Handoff is to Osborne. He goes to the left side. He's got some running room now back to the right. He's going to pick up another 1st down before being knocked out of bounds over there by Holmes. He's going to pick up 8 yards on the carry.
Osborne very fleet of foot as a running back, seeing the opportunity around the outside, broke the run, going right beyond the 1st down marker again, grinding on this Blacksburg defense as they drive down the field.
And if our producers back in the studio would round us up some scores and maybe even check with our counterparts over in Pulaski to see if they have a Christiansburg score. During the next break, we'll check with you and see if you've got some updated scores for us. First and 10 now for Cave Spring. This time, Osborne goes to the left side. Check that. It's tough to see those numbers out there. That's Lump again. He's going to pick up 4 yards and bring up 2nd and 6.
Instead of the guy that's lightning fast, Marty, we're just looking at the guy that's thunder fast. He's the guy that's just cutting it up the inside. Whereas Osborne really has that quick first step around the outside. But this is what Blacksburg needs, a 2nd and 7, a 2nd and long situation where they actually have the opportunity to stop this offense from driving down the field.
This drive started just inside the 20-yard line of Cave Spring. They're now at the 45 of Blacksburg. Clock's down to 7:31. Aiken a long stamp this time that goes back to pass. He's got some blocking. He falls down, and all over him is Blacksburg, and they're going to rule him down. He was down by contact, but he's going to lose 7 yards. Well, really, he loses a total of 11 there. So Aiken loses 11 and takes it all the way back into Cave Spring territory at the 48 of Cave Spring.
Aiken looking for his big target, number 44, the tight end, Reddick. Reddick, catching a little bit of heat down, about 10 yards downfield, was unable to get himself open, and Aiken slips and falls. Big loss on the play.
3rd down and 15 now for Cave Spring. Fakes a handoff. He's under heavy pressure. This time he goes to the screen to the left side. He's got running room. On that catch is Frewen. Frewen goes down the left side, going to be close down at the first down marker. He's finally knocked out at about the 31-yard line. It will be a first down, but there is a flag on the play back at midfield, and it looks like they're going to bring it back.
Looks like it's going to be an illegal block right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to bring that
back.
Holding call.
Oh, what a big penalty there. After a nice little screen pass to the left side.
Big 10-yard penalty. Going to make this a 3rd and unimaginable for this Cave Spring offense, one that's built on primarily running the ball.
3rd down and 25 now for Cave Spring. Clock ticks down to 6:37 here in the 3rd quarter. That's only the 6th penalty this evening here in this contest.
Coach Chris has got to be pleased with the performance of his team tonight in terms of the mental game. They haven't made the stupid mistakes that they have in the previous game. They haven't made many turnovers. They're just getting beat up by this Cave Spring offense.
Aiken under center. Here comes the snap. Fake handoff to Osborne. Goes back to pass. Under some pressure, and he goes long, and there's nobody there. The receiver saying he was held, but no flags on the play. It looked like a nice defensive play by Blacksburg, and heavy pressure put on by the Blacksburg Bruin front line.
Reddick pointing at number 5, Stuart Worley, who is face down in the turf out there. I don't know what he was holding other than he was holding the 30-yard line.
Reddick pushed him down. Should have been maybe offensive interference there. The ball's going to go back to the 40-yard line, and that's where we're going to see now a punt by Cave Spring. So a nice job to hold and slam the door by the Blacksburg Bruins.
Big hold for the Bruins there, Marty. Now they need a nice return here. Make this a viable position for them so they can drive here on offense.
One setback for Blacksburg. He's going to take it at the 20-yard line. He's got some nice blocking on the right side here. Got some running room. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. He picks up 2 blocks. He could go all the way. He's at the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Blacksburg Bruins.
That's the speedster, Jake Belote, Marty. Hasn't been returning many balls. It's been Latrell Keys back there, but when he gets a gap,
80 yards on the return.
Tremendous speed.
Touchdown Blacksburg, and they are back in this game. 6:15 to go.
And Marty, I didn't catch the number, but a fantastic block down here on the 40-yard line that broke it for Belote up the right side. A man coming back from the punt block formation and was able to pick up a great block at the 40-yard line.
Well, we haven't mentioned his name much for blocking, but Tyler Holmes.
Was he the body? Couldn't have been.
He was one of the people. We got unsportsmanlike called on Cave Spring in the middle of that return. Oh my goodness, tack it on, it's going to be, that's going to move it half the distance of the goal. A big decision here, 21-15.
We'll wait and see whether they,
That could put it at about the 2, and a big decision here for Coach Chris whether he will kick it or go for 2.
I don't think there's any decision, Marty. You're down by 6 at this point. If you go for 2 here, if you go for 1, you're going to be down by 5. If you go for 2, you're down by 4. So really it's going to be a matter of trying to pick up the 1 point, bring your team within a score, and then try to put a touchdown and a 2-point later on.
What a big play. Going for 1 here. 21-15, 6:15 mark. The kick is up. It is good. Blacksburg trails Cave Spring now only 21-16. What a heck of a return. 80 yards. 80 yards. Amazing. What a below. What a change. What a momentum mover here. We're going to take a break and come back. We got to catch our breath, but 80 yards on that return now has got Blacksburg back in the game. You are listening to Blacksburg Bruin Football on Super Talk 101.7.
So, Mom, what if something happens? Should I stay where I am and wait for you, or go to Grandma's house since it's closer?
There's no reason not to have a plan in case of a terrorist attack.
Is there a place we all meet? If the phone doesn't work, how will I tell you I'm there?
And one extremely good reason why you should.
What should I do?
Talk to your family about what you would do in case of an emergency. For more information, go to www.ready.gov.
And back at Bill Brown Stadium, what a turn of events that we've had here. 80-yard punt return for a touchdown by the Bruins. The extra point is good, and our score is 21-16. But on the play, on that return, unsportsmanlike conduct by Cave Spring, and guess what? Blacksburg's going to kick off from the 45. And Violet just showed us he's got a leg for the 45-yard line. He puts it in the goal, between the goalposts, and it's a touchback.
Marty, there's no doubt that Caleb Violet has a powerful leg. I think there, Coach Chris let him turn it loose. He probably would have preferred to have seen Caleb pop the ball up because you got great coverage. You're starting 15 yards ahead from where you typically would. If he could have put that ball down on the 5 or the 6-yard line, they really would have pinned Cave Spring deep. But a fantastic leg this young man has. 1st and 10 for Cave Spring now. Momentum has definitely shifted. Pitch back is to Osborne. He goes to the right side. Ball is on the 4. It stays with Cave Spring, but nice job. Penetration there for the defense. You said that's what we're going to need, and we finally got it. They're going to lose 2 yards, going to bring up 2nd and 12. And there it was, number 9, Sean Surface on the penetration. Finally, someone getting in the backfield of this defense and disrupting what Cave Spring wants to do, which is move the ball side to side and create distractions so they can break big runs. Fired up defense now. 5:43 to go in the 3rd quarter here. 21-16. Cave Spring still leads with the ball. Handoff, a quick handoff this time. No, it stayed back, and they handed off to the second back through. Lump on the carry, and the Bruins all over him. He goes back 6 yards. Number 33, Jason Pritchard, the senior. Great patience to wait and contain that play, Marty. Penetration and contain. That's what it's going to be all about in this half. And just an update we just got from Pulaski. Still Pulaski leads in the 3rd. Well, check that. But the score was just given to us. Hidden Valley now leads Pulaski 7-6 in the 3rd quarter. And Radford still leading Floyd 16-7. Aiken back to pass. He has to run to the right side. Had a man open, but it's knocked out of bounds. Nice coverage on the play. And it's going to be incomplete. Going to bring up 4th down and a whole lot of acreage. Yeah. Number 5, Stuart Worley, injured in the first half, comes back and makes a great play there on Reddick, number 44, trying to pick up that ball. They've got him buried deep here, Marty. They can really get some good field position and a very dangerous, speedy back. Let's see if he can do it Jake Belote, number 17, back here. Let's see if he can do it again. He's fired up. The crowd's getting fired up. It's homecoming at Bill Brown Stadium. The referee reminding Belote what the official fair catch symbol is. I don't think that's happening. Here comes the kick from the 20-yard line from Cave Spring. It's a high kick. He's going to take it at the 50-yard line this time. Oh, and they come headhunting after him that time. He's going to be taken down after about a 2-yard pickup. They're going to mark it at the 48-yard line. Blacksburg. Danny Aiken, number 12. with a big hit there. The quarterback, below, not going to have any of that. Got right up in his face after the play. Need to watch himself there. A lot of passion out there. Let's keep that under control. I don't want to see any more unsportsmanlikes out there.
1st and 10 now. The momentum has definitely shifted to the Bruins' favor. They were able to slam the door and keep the Cave Spring Knights from a single yard. Instead, they went backwards, a total of 8 yards on that series. It's now 4:45 to go, and here comes Trey Gresh leading the offense of the Bruins back out. 2 receivers split both sides of the field in shotgun formation, and Latrell Keys is the lone setback. See if they can use some of this momentum. Gresh back to pass. He's got a man open down the center of the field. Had to turn on it a little bit. And just a little bit overthrown. Pass is incomplete. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
That pass splitting DeSalvo and number 27 streaking down the center of the field. Neither wide receiver looked like they knew which one it was going to. It looked like the ball split them right down the middle. And clock stops at 4:40 with Blacksburg driving. Second
That's
and 10.
okay. That was on 1st down. 2nd down and 10 now.
Got to take your shots, Marty.
Yeah,
Got
the
to take
youngster
them.
Trey Gresh with 3 receivers on the far side. Keys alone setback again. He's going to roll left. Now he's under some heavy pressure. He's going to have to keep it himself. He's going to be brought down in the backfield. He's going to lose about 4 yards.
Although
nice
Gresh
pressure
got
by Cave Spring on that.
Gresh got pressured, and Cave Spring got the sack on that play. I've been impressed all night with the way this offensive line has picked up the various blitzes, the various movement, and the various rushes that Cave Spring has brought.
We're seeing a great football game tonight. You would never know that guy behind center for Blacksburg is only a freshman. He's looked great this evening.
You also
great
would not,
decision.
You would not know that we have a 1-4 team playing a 5-0 team right now.
Trey Gresh has had to make a lot of decisions out there. That's the thing tonight. He's had to keep the ball when under heavy pressure. Now he's got 2 backs with him. He's got 2 receivers on the far side here. He's going to come back across, and it's deflected at the last second. It was going to DeSalvo. He was open for a moment. The defender got a hand, and it's going to bring up now 4th down and 14. A punting situation for the Bruins as Cave Spring is held.
Great read by number 11 on Cave Spring, Fralin, who was able to read that ball and knock it down. Nearly had it intercepted. Not a lot of running room had he. So LaPuas is going to be back. Harrison's going to put the ball in the air and hopefully get off another great punt.
3:48. We're moving along in this 3rd quarter. Ball's marked at the 45-yard line at Blacksburg. Here comes the kick. It's a high one, but a short one. They better be careful here. Make sure it doesn't hit anyone in the back. Going to go out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. We'll see where they're going to finally mark it. Check that. It's going to be marked at the 38-yard line. 27 yards on the kick. And it's going to give Cave Spring the ball now. 1st and 10. The ball is going to be marked when they finally step it off at the 38-yard line of Cave Spring.
Harrison not terribly pleased with that punt. Thought he could get a little bit of better hold of that one, but big play for Harrison tonight. He's made a couple of receptions. He's had some good punts and some bad.
Here we go. Cave Spring, 1st down and 10. The pitch comes very quickly to Osborne. Osborne had some running room. The hole sealed up. He gets maybe 4 yards, going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Blacksburg needs to come back on this series with the same energy they left the last series with. They need to be defensively active. They need to get penetration and contain on the ends to prevent the reverse.
2nd down now for Cave Spring. Ball's marked just about their 43-yard line. Clock ticks down to 3:20 here in this 3rd quarter. Great ball game this evening. Homecoming 2005 for Blacksburg. Long count here for Cave Spring and Danny Aiken. And some movement there. Hand off to Ram before anyone got going. We had a flag on the play. Might have been a little too much time.
Tough to hold your offensive line in there for that long on the long counts.
Illegal procedures, 5-yard penalty. That's only about the 7th penalty now we've seen this evening. Good job, both teams. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 11 now for Cave Spring. Ball marked back at their 38.
Penalty's one of those intangible facets of the game, Marty, that really can make all the difference or minimal difference in the performance of your team. If you got 20 penalties in a game, it's highly unlikely that you're going to win that game unless you're putting up a lot of points.
Are these the same officials from Saturday night's game? They're just moving this game along.
I don't know if they're that fast, but they are moving it along.
2nd down and 10 now. Handoff goes to Osborne. He gets back 5 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Coach Fisk cannot be pleased because they had first contact on Osborne 1 yard from the line of scrimmage. He can't be pleased to see Osborne put a hand down and gain 4 to 5 on these carries.
But that's a big difference. We weren't saying that in the first half. Blacksburg Bruin defense now starting to get some penetration on that defensive line and breaking into the offensive interior line and hitting him at least, touching him and getting some contact as they start to cross into that invisible line there. Back to pass. It's Aiken. He's under heavy pressure. Blacksburg Bruins all over him. He breaks 2 tackles. It's going to be brought down. He's going to gain 2 yards on the carry, but nice job of a hurry-up defense there. They were all over it.
No chance to get that ball off in any sort of pass play. Defense had great penetration. It doesn't appear as though Cave Spring has any intention of punting this ball.
Ball's marked at the 44-yard line. Cave Spring side of the ball. They say no gain by Aiken's. Going to bring up 4th and 5 now. 1 receiver to the far side, and Cave Spring goes to the shotgun formation.
The short punt formation.
And the short punt. Aiken's going to kick it, and it's a pretty good kick. No one back for Blacksburg. Caught him off guard there. Going to roll down to about the 24-yard line, and that's where it's going to be marked down.
A little Joe Theismann formation there of the 1980s Redskins, dropping the quarterback back 7 and going for a punt with no deep man.
30-yard punt by Aiken. It did its job. Going to give Blacksburg the ball now, marked at about the 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
Now, Marty, why would you do that? Let's talk about this for just – that's right. That's right. Jake Belote, if you put him back there, can hurt you. Got a lot of speed and has had 2 great returns here, even though he got a little bit headhunted on that last return.
And the way the Blacksburg defense have been playing, if they'd have went for it, they might have had to put Blacksburg in an excellent field position. So at least they put him back a little bit now. Receivers split both sides of the field. Gresh's low snap, hand off to Keys. Keys had some running room there for a second, and it sealed up quickly. Picks up 3 yards, going to bring up 2nd and 7.
Cave Spring surprisingly has a lot of players that do go both ways on this offense and defense. Fralin, number 11, Osborne goes both ways, number 3, Haran goes both ways, and their quarterback all are going both ways tonight, including number 44, their big tight end. So a lot of fatigue's got to be setting in for these players who ensure are in great condition.
2nd and 8 now for Blacksburg. This time their handoff comes to the right side. Surprise there on the handoff Gresh kept it on the keeper. Comes to the right side. Looked like he went to Keys for a moment. He's going to pick up maybe 2 yards before being knocked out of bounds.
Outstanding open field tackle by number 28, Caps, for Cave Spring. By himself with a blocker on him, was able to shed and tackle Gresh. Just a fantastic play on behalf of Cave Spring.
We're starting to see something this evening that we hadn't seen all season. Trey Gresh showing a little speed and got a head about him that he can run the ball.
He is an athlete, not a quarterback. Trey Gresh is a good athlete, so you're going to see that a lot more, I think.
2 receivers split both sides. This time Gresh going to sprint left. He's got a receiver open for a moment, but it's sealed up quickly. He's going to keep it. Going to pick up only a yard. It's going to bring up 4th down and 4. Nice coverage by Cave Spring there. He kept Gresh. He had a receiver open for just a moment, and then he had to tuck it in.
Gresh rolling to his left, and he better be happy for it because number 40 was coming on Murderer's Row to pick him off from the blind side. Gresh moving to the left was able to escape the pressure, and looks like we're going to roll into the 4th quarter here before they run 4th down for Blacksburg.
Yeah, they're going to punt it and it'll be marked to the 30-yard line, but that is the end of the quarter with your score. Cave Spring 21, the Blacksburg Bruins 16. We'll be right back after this. You are listening to Bruin Football on Super Talk 101.7.
There is a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
And the punt goes down to about the 32-yard line, and Cave Spring goes backwards on that. That was Osborne, and he's going to lose about 5 yards on the punt return, and the ball's going to be marked at the 25-yard line.
Harrison redeeming himself with a nice 40-yard punt there.
45 yards. That's 2 straight 45-yard punts.
Great effort by Harrison Lapuasa there.
First down and 10 now for Cave Spring. Again, the ball is going to be marked at their own 25 as we begin the fourth quarter. A speedy third quarter.
Another fast one. I still don't think it's as fast as the Northside game last week, but lack of penalties in this game and a lot of great offense and defense in this game is making this thing go pretty quickly.
Cave Spring not changing anything. This time the handoff is to Osborne. He goes to the left side, comes back and cuts into the right behind the linebackers and picks up about 5 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 5.
And you're going to see Cave Spring in the first quarter with a lot of, if what worked once is good, twice is better, 3 times is great. I think you're going to see a lot of the same plays run over and over and over again on the interior line to grind out this clock.
You know, I think the big thing here is 21-16, 11:30 to go in this game. A young Blacksburg Bruin defense can taste it. They can taste it that their defense has been playing well. The offense is doing a great job. Now they got to do something about it. 2nd down and 5 for Cave Spring. Movement there. We'll see if it was offsides on Blacksburg or if they were drawn off by the Cave Spring interior line.
Looked like number 73 might have jumped off sides for Blacksburg there. Dorian Jones is coming off the field on that play. In for him, number 54, fresh set of legs, Talmadge Flincham coming in to block up that interior line.
And that penalty is against Blacksburg. Is going to give Cave Spring another first down. Clock ticks down 11:13 and moves it just inside the 40-yard line now. We'll check it at the 38 on the Cave Spring side of the field. Only the 2nd penalty this evening, Kelly, on Blacksburg. Handoff this time is to Moran. He goes to the left side. He's got running room. 1 blocker. Breaks around 2 tacklers there, and he's going to still spin move and going to go down finally at the 33-yard line on the Blacksburg side of the field.
26-yard pickup there, Marty. I'm in the ballpark, I think. Great job by Haran breaking on the outside. Blacksburg had no one out there to be a tackler. He put a nice move on the linebacker on the far sideline. Unfortunately, I think it might have been Tyler Holmes that got faked out of his shoes and then drove it down for an additional 10 yards.
25 yards on the pickup by Haran. Going to give them another first down and 10 now inside Blacksburg territory. Clock ticks down to 10:52, and this clock playing an important role in the game now. Handoff straight up the middle. This time it looked like it went to Lump. He was going to pick up maybe 4 yards on the carry when they mark it. Now check that when they finally spot it. He picked up 6.
Marty, again, another demoralizing, quick hit, 20-yard pickup. This is getting back to what happened to Blacksburg in the first half. They need to shut this down right now, hold here, and see if they can't get their offense back on the field.
2nd down now and 5. Cave Spring knocking on the door again. See if this defense can come alive. Osborne comes right side. He's got some running room. He picked up 2 blocks. And he's going to be finally knocked out of bounds by the Bruins at about the 22-yard line. Going to be close to the first down. I think he's going to be short, Kelly. All that running, and he only picked up 3 yards.
They're going to give him the first down, though. Healthy spot on that.
Picks up 4 yards on the spot. He went more east to west than he did north to south. Because right now, Cave Spring moving left to right across your radio dial. They're now at the 22-yard line and knocking on the door. The Blacksburg Bruin defense. Clock ticks under 10 minutes. Their worst enemy right now as they trail by 5 points. The defense needs to come up and pull something out of their hat and look possibly for a turnover or loss here. Aiken, the handoff. This time he pitches to the up back. That's Lump. Lump's going to be knocked down at the 5-yard line after he just run over people.
First contact on Lump, Marty, occurred at the 15-yard line. That seemed to drive him forward an additional 7 yards before he's tackled. And by drive, I mean, it was almost like that contact propelled him faster.
Blacksburg's going to take a timeout and try to get their defense regrouped here. That's 2 big plays now that's knocked them back on their heels. 9:38, we're going to stay with it. What a game we've got here tonight, folks. 21-16 is your score. Cave Spring comes in 5-0 against the team that's 1-4. The Bruins have 16 points and are so close right now.
The Bruins are in the perfect situation right now because they're within striking distance of this Cave Spring team, a very good team, I might add, but they have to hold the Cave Spring offense out of the end zone here, because if they're unable to do that, it's going to be difficult for this offense to put 2 scores on the board, although they are capable.
And check with our producers again. If they give us a call here on our cell phone with some updated scores, we'd be glad to have them and can pass them along to both the people in the stadium and on the radio. The last report we had that Pulaski was leading by 1 point in a close game against Hidden Valley. Still waiting for a score on Christiansburg and Salem. And right now, Radford is still leading Floyd County in a close game. But if you could call us with some updated scores, we'd like to pass them along. 9:38 to go in this game. The ball's marked at the 5-yard line. It's first down and goal for Cave Spring as they're knocking on the door with this powerful offenses have been driving it down the defense's throat in the last 3 plays. Handoff is to the late back through. They're going to mark it at the 1-yard line.
Ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground. That's a touchback.
Fumble on the play after a 4-yard pickup by Osborne. It's out of his hands, goes into the end zone, and Blacksburg falls on it. Defense comes through, and it's going to be a touchback on the fumble recovery in the end zone, and Cave Spring comes away with nothing. 9:29 to go. Turnover, the biggest turnover maybe of Blacksburg's season they get.
And who is on the recovery, Marty? Number 5, Stuart Worley, who comes from injuries door to come back in the second half and is putting on a real show. A great recovery there. Big time fumble. Great turnover on behalf of Blacksburg's defense there.
And I was just saying they needed a big play or a turnover, and they come through. 9:29 to go. Blacksburg trails 21-16. They've got the ball with 2 receivers split both sides. Key's the only setback. And Gresh is going to keep it. He comes left side. He's got running room. He's got 1 man to beat. He's got a block out of here. He's at the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, and it's ripped down. It might have been a touchdown-saving tackle at the shoestrings. Gresh takes it to the 44-yard line. Oh, my goodness. A 36-yard run for Gresh. And the Bruins are in Cave Spring territory. And with only 10 seconds off the clock. What a play by the freshman signal caller.
There's no way we can infuse the energy of the stands right now in this football team into this broadcast, but I'm telling you, this has lit a fire underneath this Bruin team.
We had to feel it from you and me there. First and 10 now at the 45-yard line on the Cave Springs side of the field. Blacksburg trying to put something together. Handoff is the Keys. He's got running room on the right side, but there's a flag down to the play after a 5-yard pickup, and I'm afraid that one might be holding, because it came from the deep man back in the white hat.
Mandatory play right there because Gresh had to get a blow.
Holding.
He had to get a breath of air. Yeah. And the only way you can do that is to give the ball in the handoff to Keys, who is a very capable back. And now it looks like Gresh might have caught his breath, and now we can get back to the offense that Blacksburg wants to run.
Holding is the call. We'll move it back for Blacksburg. So nullify that quick gain. And that's going to take it back all the way to the 44-yard line of Blacksburg.
They got to chip away here, Marty. They have to get a couple of yards, about 5 on this play, try to pick up 6 to 7 on the next, which makes it a very manageable 3rd down and 7 going into the end zone there.
2 receivers split both ways. This time the handoff is the Keys. He picks up 4 yards, going to bring it back to midfield. He picks up 6 yards on that carry, and again brings it to midfield. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 19 for the Blacksburg Bruins.
This 2nd down is going to be pretty manageable for the Bruins, Marty, going in. Just 16 thereabouts, something like that. 2nd down, very manageable for this offense, which can pick up the pass play pretty quickly.
Clock ticks down to 8:28 right now. Blacksburg's got to try to do something quickly because the clock's their worst enemy. Gresh goes to the right side. It is complete.
Greg Keys with a great pickup there, it looks like.
That's Greg Keys on the
That's not
catch.
Keys, but we got a man down. Keys is over here, number 1, walking towards the sideline.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see who's on that. It looks like it might have been Jordan on the reception. It's going to bring up 3rd down and a long 7, so it was a 12-yard pickup on the pass.
A manageable, though, 7, Marty, when you look at the situation. 1st and 20, we cut it down, 4 yards on the first play, 7 on the second. Now coming back with the 3rd and 7 is a very manageable offensive situation. Blacksburg getting a breath of fresh air here on this injury timeout they got on the field. It looks like number 71, number 31 for Blacksburg is the man that went down, Jordan Wade. He made the reception. Looks like he might have some sort of either shoulder or leg injury as he comes hobbling off the field. A couple of the Blacksburg trainers escorting him off the field, but he's coming off under his own power. Hope that Jordan is okay. Blacksburg reassuming the position. Wide receivers and Gresh getting the signal calls from the sideline. Coach Chris is examining the playbook, figuring out what's going to be the best play in this situation. John Cook, the backup quarterback, is waiting patiently to
28-6 they're winning.
Call into the offense.
So Blacksburg is winning 28-6.
Are calling for the stands to get
you
up
got to score Christiansburg.
The fans responding with an exuberant outcry.
Ask Rick
Cook
if he's got one
that
he can give to you.
Position.
Just ask him.
Got 2 wide right, 2 wide left, single back in the backfield. Keys in the backfield with Gresh. Gresh calls for the snap on 3rd and 7, and flags go down.
They were waiting on me. I had to get back with you there, Kelly, just checking on some scores. Final, Radford has beaten Floyd. Kelly going to be happy, 23-6. And Pulaski, we said they needed to be given some respect. They're winning 28-6 late in the 4th quarter. We still haven't gotten anything on the Christiansburg-Salem game. That's the big one just down the road. But 23-6, Radford has won, and Pulaski is winning 28-6 in the 4th quarter.
That's a big-time win for Pulaski. Hopefully going to get them the respect that they deserve because that team is for real. And
Hidden Valley 5-0 coming into that game.
Radford with a big win there going into the...
Gresh on a bad snap, has to recover, going to roll left. He's got a receiver out there under some pressure, going to throw it away.
That ball batted down with the 2 giants for Cave Spring out there. Number 44, Reddick, and number 12, Aiken, out on the coverage of Gresh there, chasing him out of the pocket. Gresh picking up the fumbled snap. A lot of dejection on the sideline right now. People shaking their heads saying, man, that penalty killed us, that extra 5 yards.
Clock down to 7:40 now. The ball is marked at the 47-yard line. And that's the 47 on the Cave Springs side of the field. So Blacksburg to punt it away. See if the special teams could come into play here. A nice little pooch kick. It's going to be a good one, though. Going to take a roll and go out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So a nice play there on the kick, about a 33 yards on the kick.
Lapuasa, the lefty, with a very nice kick there. Pooching it out of bounds, pinning Cave Spring deep, just what Blacksburg needed. The defense coming out with great energy. He's got to put together a stop here. Ray Williams, big play Ray. Tyler Holmes in the group. Hopefully they can come up with a big stop here, get their team the ball back with good field position going into the last drive of the game.
And the way they played defense the last 2 series, and especially they slammed the door on that fumble there in the end zone. 7:40 now. The defense really got to come up this time. 1st and 10. Cave Spring deep in their own territory. A high snap this time, and Haran takes the ball. He's got some running room there for a second. Finally knocked out of bounds by Surface on the far side. Going to pick up 6 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 4.
Blacksburg not getting much penetration on the far side where Haran ran. On the near side with Belote and company, Ray Williams, they got good penetration, but unfortunately had to run the length of the field to track the running back down.
3rd down and a long 6. Or excuse me, 2nd and a long 6 for Cave Spring. This time they're going to put 1 receiver on this side of the field, something we hadn't seen that much this evening from Cave Spring. Aiken at quarterback. Went to the deep back. Couldn't see on who finally on the carry. I think it was Osborne.
Number 24.
Picks up only 2 yards. Going to bring up third down and a short 2 now for Cave Spring.
Blacksburg was able to pile it up there. Below calling out, look for the run, as he rushed in from the cornerback position. And certainly Osborne, sure enough, took the ball, ran right up the gut. They were able to pile it up for a good stop.
Still 7:10 left to go in this ball game. Plenty of time for Blacksburg, especially if they can stop Cave Spring here. Third down and 2. Here comes the Knights. Handoff is to the second back through. That's Horan. He's got some running room. He picked up 2 blocks. He breaks 2 tackles. He comes to the right side. He's at the 50, the 45, and knocked out of bounds at the 43.
And thank goodness for number 9, Joey Phillips there, tracking down Horan, who was able to break it off the left side. Strong cutback running all the way across the field for a big pickup there.
27 yards on that pickup. 6:39 now.
Bend don't break's got to come in here somewhere, Marty, because this is a point where the Blacksburg defense, they're beaten down, they're tired, they've been on the field for so long tonight, they have to stand up and make the stop here.
We need to see a ball loose on the ground again here.
That would help.
1st and 10 for Cave Spring. They're at the 42-yard line of Blacksburg with the lead. Grinding it out. This time it goes to the far side of the Lump. Lump's got some blockers out there. Picks up 8 yards. Finally knocked down. Maybe picks up 9. Going to bring up 2nd and 1.
One common theme that we've seen all night with Cave Spring and these running backs is patience. All 3 of the backs that touch the ball consistently, Osborne, Lump, and Horan, have a great deal of patience in waiting on the crease to open up, the hole to open up, the cutback possibility to open up before they make their move.
2nd down and 2 now for Blacksburg defense trying to shut down Cave Spring. Get the ball back. 6:05 is our ticker. 21-16 is the score. Cave Spring leading with the ball. Handoff is to the deep back. That time it is Osborne. He's going to pick up the first down on a 3-yard gain.
11 white jerseys in there. You rarely can tell who has it, where the ball is. They just pile it in there to pick up 2 or 3 when they need it.
I know I've played against that single wing offense, and it's very tough. And I tell you what, this is very close to the single wing. It doesn't look like it when they line up, but this is very similar. They're doing a lot of movement and a lot of quick handoffs. And what we've seen tonight is 1, 2, and even a 3rd handoff behind the line of scrimmage before the defense is there. 1st and 10 now for Cave Spring. Ball's marked at the 33-yard line of Blacksburg. Clock still ticking down. Handoff is to Osborne. He's knocked down in the backfield. Going to lose maybe a yard. Well, he gets back to the original line of scrimmage on the spot, so no gain.
Big tackle by number 17, Jake Belote, coming off the corner, dropping Osborne. It looks like maybe even a yard loss on the play. Bringing up 2nd and 10.
Clock down to 5 minutes now. The worst enemy for the Bruins. Trailing in this game by 5 points. 21-16 is our score. Homecoming 2005.
Look for Cave Spring to go back to the long side of the field to run back towards their sideline on this play. And also look for the big reverse, because that hasn't been run in a couple of plays now.
Aiken this time is going to keep it and go left side. He's got some blockers there. He's got running room. Picks up a first down before. No, he's still not down. And it's going to be finally brought down close to the 10-yard line.
They're going to mark him out of bounds, Marty. It looks like he stepped out of bounds right beyond the first down marker at the 19. One referee is calling him out of bounds, and that looks like where they're going to mark him at.
12 yards on the pickup for Aiken. Another first down, and the key thing here is the clock continues to move at 4:34. It does stop for the markers to move, but the clock is the worst enemy again, like I was saying, for Blacksburg.
Cave Spring going to the wide side of the field on the QB keeper, a call they haven't made tonight that I know of yet. Aiken, the big body, able to pick up the yardage, chew up some time, and chew up the first down.
Defense got to rise up here. This would be a perfect time for a turnover again. 4:34. 1st and 10 now. Cave Spring trying to grind it out a little bit. Running room straight up the middle. There is a flag on the play. We'll wait and see. It could be from that side of the field. It could be a face mask or possibly holding against the offense.
They ran the trap there, coming back to Lump on the inside. They haven't run that play very much either. It looks like Coach Fulton is really digging deep into the playbook now, trying to get away from the standbys that have been working all night.
So a big penalty there for Cave Spring. still going to be first down.
The band trying to get the fans riled up, the drum corps. Coach Phipps trying to get a timeout on the sideline, get his defense reset. And it looks like he got it, Marty.
We're going to take a quick timeout here. Bill Brown Stadium, your score is Cave Spring 21, Blacksburg Bruins 16.
I'm principal of a new kind of public school. It's open up to 15 hours a day, year-round. It has loads of academic, cultural, and recreational activities. We have medical and dental services right here. Our teachers have more time to teach. Our students are better prepared to learn. There's just one problem. We can't get the kids to go home.
Find out how your public school can be more like this one. Call 1-877-LOVE-TO-LEARN.
Man, oh man, we got a burner here. And they've already finished down the road. Pulaski has won and defeated Hidden Valley, giving them the first loss of the evening. Cave Spring leads 21-16. They got the ball 1st and 16 here. Handoff is to Iran. He might get close back to the original line of scrimmage, giving him 5 yards on the pickup. And the clock continues to tick down. Blacksburg defense got to do something, Kelly.
Well, 2nd and 12 here. Blacksburg has a real chance to shut them down. Cave Spring coming back to the short side with the reverse. Atypical of what they've been doing all night. They've been predominantly running that reverse to the wide side of the field to create more open space for the running back.
And good news for Blacksburg fans. Pulaski knocks off Hidden Valley. Of course, that's an opener for both teams in the River Ridge. Aiken going to keep it for the second time this evening. Comes right side, had some running room. It's going to shut down. No, he breaks 2 tackles, and he's going to hit pay dirt. They're going to mark it out from the 20-yard line, so a 19-yard touchdown. No flags for the play. And just when Blacksburg needed to stop, Aiken goes right side, breaks 2 tackles, and finds a hole to give Cave Spring another score.
And Coach Phipps is not going to like that. 3 of his players overrunning the tackle, trying to come back and make an arm tackle on Aiken. Aiken just too big and strong, able to push through, and then the missed tackles downfield from that. Coach Phipps not going to be happy with that effort tonight.
And the kick up for the point after is blocked by Blacksburg. Nice job for Blacksburg to get in, so it's no good. And that leaves our score at 3:43 to go, 27-16, Cave Spring. We're going to stay with it here because of the pace we've been going at. We're going to be back out here quickly. 3:43. Blacksburg going to have to do something very quickly, down by 11.
An 11-point game here, Marty, is now when you've got to start scheming as a coach as to how you are going to get down the field quickly, score. You're going to have to go on sides because there's just 3 minutes and 43 seconds left in this game, so you're going to have to come back with an onside kick. You don't practice it much, and so that's a good thing. You need to get in there and have the opportunity to work on it in an open game like this. But Blacksburg has the possibility and the potential to score quickly. This offense, this spread offense is built to score quickly. They've had some opportunities with deep balls tonight and just haven't had just that extra 6 inches, that extra half step, that extra 1 yard of field that they need in order to make it a successful reception and a successful game.
But Coach Chris got to be very happy because we said that, you know, the last couple games they were like 2 or 3 steps away. Now they're 1 step away. They're playing very good against a very good Cave Spring team. The defense has done a good job except for 2 long drives by Cave Spring. They stopped them at the goal line on the drive before that last one where they scored. But they've got to be very happy. They would be even more happier if they were able to score and get a quick finish here to get maybe back a second time a chance to win this game. But right now they're down by 11 points, and the clock is the worst enemy for the Bruins at 3:43. Here comes the kick from Iran. This time a pretty good kick. Going to be taken at the 11-yard line. Going to be brought out this time. The right side got some running room, and I can't see who had the ball there, Kelly, but he ran into one of his own
Keys brought that one out. Was able to pick up that ball on the reception and bring it out to the 31-yard line is where they're going to spot that.
69 yards. They're going to go 69 yards very quickly. 1st and 10. Clock down to 3:36.
They have the timeouts, though, Marty. That's a good thing. The good news is that they have the timeouts for this half, so they've got some time to drive the ball. But it would be great to see a quick hit here, maybe 2 or 3 play drive that's a scoring drive for Blacksburg.
And two things we've seen out of Trey Gresh, the freshman quarterback tonight for the Bruins. He's been able to roll left and right and find a receiver open. And the second part of that is he's able to run. He's done a great job running the ball tonight. Back to pass. This time he looks to Keys in the short pass. He's going to have to run to the right side. Looks for a man open, and he comes back across to the left side. That is Keys. Check that. Yeah, that is Greg Keys. A flag is down on the play at the catch. Could be face masked in addition to be tacked on here. We'll wait and see. It is going to be a personal foul against Cave Spring.
That's a big one. And that turns a 14-yard pickup, Marty, into a 29-yard offensive play. And in addition, the clock stops on the penalty with 3:26 left.
Wow.
They've cut this in half, the distance that they have to drive.
39-yard line now at Cave Spring. What a big penalty for Cave Spring. And Coach Fulton's got to be very unhappy on the far sideline for Cave Spring Knights at a time like this.
Worst case scenario for Cave Spring, their best case for Blacksburg.
3 receivers on the far side. Gresh is going to roll that way. Looks for a receiver. He had him open for a second, but the defender got a hand in the face and knocks it away. That was Tyler Holmes it was going for.
Very
Clock
fortunate.
still stops. 3:17. 2nd and 10 now.
Blacksburg very lucky. There are 2 white jerseys in the proximity of that pass. In fact, one white jersey had his hands on it. Very fortunate that ball wasn't picked off. Gresh throws a hard ball, so
Gresh,
very fortunate that wasn't picked off.
Gresh very quickly calling a play. No huddle. Receivers split both sides of the field. Keys the only man in the backfield. And Gresh going to keep it. He had some running room there for a second. Breaks 2 tackles. Going to take it down to the 30-yard line. Going to be near the first down marker. We'll give him 9 yards on the carry. On a quarterback keeper, it looked like it was designed that way the whole time. 3rd down and 1, but we're down to 3 minutes and counting.
This team's got no quit, Marty. They haven't had it all season. They're back on the ball quickly. They're trying to drive this Cave Spring team into a difficult situation so they can get a quick hit and perhaps score.
Young guns this time on offense. Gresh going to keep the ball again. He's going to be close to the first down before being knocked down. And I don't know if he got back to the original line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark it. Going to be 4th down. He lost a yard.
Well, quarterback to quarterback facial is what that was. That was Aiken on the tackle with a big pickup and slam of Gresh.
He knew he needed to stop it here because Blacksburg driving, 2:23 to go. They're still down by 11. Need a big play here. 2 receivers split both sides. Holmes and Surface on one side. And you got Keys, the big man, over here on the left side.
A little over 2 minutes now left in the game.
They're going to have to call a timeout because the clock was ticking down just a little too quickly. We're going to keep it here.
The most heartbreaking thing about calling a timeout there, Marty, is you could have called a timeout at 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Saved a lot of time.
You saved yourself 15 seconds. So it's heartbreaking to see that, but it's better to get the timeout called, get your offense set, especially in such a critical 4th and 3 situation where you have to have the first down.
Well, you got to feel it. These young players, I call them the young guns on defense. I'm going to call them the young guns on offense tonight. Their heart's got to be pumping. The adrenaline is going. They can feel it. They can sense it. And they got nothing to lose right here. They're down by 11 points. 4th down now. We're going to see what Coach Chris calls and see what the young players come up with.
There's no quitting this Bruin team, though, Marty. That blue out there means something to them. They take great pride in the fact that they don't quit. They're going to come back, it looks like, with an unbalanced line, overstacking the right side and a powerhouse backfield to pick up this first down.
They're going to try to pick up the first down here. And I tell you what, they got 2 tight ends in there on the right side of the line.
Don't be surprised to
Hand off to Keys. He's going to the right side. He's got running room. He picks up the first down. It's going to be drugged down. Looked like by the face mask there, but they're going to say he wasn't. He's going to be knocked out of bounds to see if they're going to keep the clock running. Well, it's a first down, so we'll stop it for a second. Going to mark it at the 21-yard line. So Keys on a 6-yard pickup there But first down and 10 now as we're under 2 minutes.
Big pickup by Keys there, and he was tackled by the back collar, something you hate to see in football.
Pass into the corner of the end zone. We're going to wait and see for a signal. They're going to say it's intercepted by Cave Spring. It will be a touchback with 1:53 to go. The Bruins try to catch Cave Spring off guard there, but going by a quick snap, quick pass to the corner, but the last minute the defender come over and intercepted. So interception in the end zone, and Cave Spring has slammed the door here. The question is, did they lock the door?
A very athletic play by the defensive back from Cave Spring, Marty, who was able to get up, grab that ball at its highest point. Very athletic, great interception on behalf of the Cave Spring there.
Still 1:53 to go in the game. Blacksburg could get a big turnover right here. We'll see what might happen. Down 27-16. And we've had a doozy here, folks. What a game to open River Ridge play for both Cave Spring and Blacksburg. And that's usually what happens when these two meet. First and 10 now. Cave Spring taking a long time to come out with a snap. Handoff is to Osborne. Osborne's got running room around the right side. Going to be knocked down at the 35-yard line after picking up a first down. Picks up 16 yards on the carry, and that might have sealed it.
Holmes on the tackle. That might have been the dagger, Marty. Clock stops at 1:46. 16 Bruins, 27 Cave Spring Knights. That might have been the dagger that broke it there.
But I tell you what, Blacksburg's shown these youngsters can play. And in the next 2 years, River Ridge District better look out.
Absolutely.
Because the Blacksburg Bruins have got a bunch of young players that are going to grow up quick.
Bruins need a turnover right here in a big way. They need to get this ball back, give it back to the offense, allow them the opportunity to put it in the end zone.
Cave Spring a long time this time. Now goes the lump. He's going to the left side. No running room there. Has to cut back, and guess what? Tay Ramsey all over him. He's probably going to lose a yard, looks like. But the clock ticks down to 1:14.
1:10, 1:09. No timeouts for Blacksburg. Blacksburg with a goose egg. And Cave Spring content to keep their 3 timeouts. No need to call one here with just a minute left in the game.
They're going to let it go down as long as possible. Down under a minute now.
With a formation like Cave Spring has, there really is no victory for that where you have the deep back and you down the ball. Cave Spring doesn't have a formation like that, I would have to believe.
And Cave Spring's going to burn the timeout here. I think it was a equipment problem, and Lump had to call a timeout. If he'd have pointed that out to the officials, he might have not had to burn that timeout. And I don't think they're going to credit it with him. They're going to give him a freebie there. 36 seconds left. 2nd and 11 now for Cave Spring. This time it's to the up back. I believe that is Osborne. He's going to pick up 6 yards. Going to bring up 3rd and 5 now for Cave Spring.
And there's no official play clock in high school, but that's going to be the game, Marty, as we tick past 15 seconds here at Bill Brown Stadium.
And what a great game it has been. Our final score as the clock ticks down is going to be Cave Spring 27 and Blacksburg Bruins 16. But you got to give it to these youngsters. They played a great second half. And I tell you what, they trailed 21-9 at halftime.
Another heartbreaking loss, Marty. If we could coin the season in any other way, I wish there was a way. Just heartbreaking loss. Another close one here at Bill Brown Stadium. Another close one for the Blacksburg Bruins, who seem to do this week in and week out. They're just 6 inches from blowing this thing wide open.
The score was Cave Spring 27 and the Blacksburg Bruins 16. You are listening to Bruin Football on Super Talk 101.7.